my watch. That's a good way to start the stream.
Mm. I'm just trying to figure out what to write.
Where the fuck did I put my? Where did I put my watch? I can hear it vibrate, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Gosh, damn it.
What's the name of that guy? Wait, are you live already? I see you live on Twitch, I think.
Yeah, the name of the dude is Kim, Kim, Jung.
Oh wait, I'm hearing echo. Give me a sec. Wait. Okay, you can say it again. Kim
Jung Gi.
G.
Yeah.
G. Oh G. G.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that G? Is it Gi? Kim
Gi.
Jung Gi. Kim Jung Gi. Okay.
Yeah. Kim Jung Gi.
Kim Jong Gi. Okay,
Kim
I got it.
Yeah.
Kim Jong Gi.
A very an absolute master that we're going to be talking about soon.
All right. So wait, we are live, aren't we?
We are totally live.
Oh, hello.
There's no one. There's no one here, basically. So.
But it will be on the tubes, right, and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hello and welcome to Archer Street Podcast. I'm Jay.
And I'm Sev.
And today we will try to talk about Kim Jung Gi, which is a famous, he was a famous comic book artist.
It's a sad story. Maybe I should take it from here since I was the one who wanted to talk about it. Kim Jung Gi, as you say. I don't know how to pronounce his. Yeah, he's
Probably.
Korean. He was a Korean master of the arts. He is mostly known as a comic book artist, but that doesn't really cut it for how good he was. The dude was insanely talented, and he died at the age of 47 years old, which is incredible. It's like if he died of a heart attack, and it was just shocking to me because I've been a massive fan of Kim Jung Gi, and I watched his videos. He seems like such a kind-hearted dude, and he just seems like he was having fun with his art. Like all of his work embodies the things that we've been talking about in this podcast, which is just have fun with your work and always seek to improve, but above all else, just be like a passionate for your art. Don't let yourself burn out. And he basically was the embodiment of that. He was so incredibly talented. I'll speak about him further on, but yeah, dying of a heart attack after I saw him in Paris doing this basically a live drawing in the PSG football camp. It was kind of surreal. Basically, Messi and Neymar and all that shit. They were practicing on the pitch, and Kim Jong Gi was invited to like assist the training and just draw. And he did an amazing illustration, like 2 hours, a huge illustration. You guys can check it out, of a free kick from Messi. Like with the footballers were watching him draw. Like, what the fuck? That guy's good. And that was the last thing Kim Jong Gi ever did, because he went then to the airport and he was going to travel to New York. And apparently he was feeling like tightness in the chest. He went to the hospital and he never got out. That was the end of him. And that is an incredibly sad story. I was like shocked to hear that like the art community is like grieving over the dude. And it is just amazing how this guy, who I think he understood English, but I never actually saw an interview of him speaking English. But of this dude who just who everyone just amazingly loved. Now, I'll go further into depth about how good he was, but yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to the podcast, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, and we'll probably derail as usual and rant about other stuff. I mean that's just the common.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I mean,
and,
we also go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have already some people chatting a little bit. We have Tijolo18, Baby Bedwetter, saying hello.
Yeah.
And apparently people are surprised that we have an art stream.
I've been threatening it for a while, but it's hard to like do art and communicate with people at the same time. It has to be like in a certain format, and I hope that I can do it today. But I just had to do an art stream as an homage to Kim Jong Gi, who was an amazing talent. Like I've said, I've threatened the art stream for a long while. And now this seems an opportunity as good as any to do it.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I haven't even seen you make art, and I'm curious about the the glove you're using. It looks like a reverse um, kind of bowman glove, like where they have the two fingers or something. You have, yeah, you have like the opposite. Yeah, it's like the opposite of archers. Because the archers have the other fingers.
Yeah, the ones on top.
protected.
They're like,
Yeah.
if I
I'm
want to
just
shoot a
gonna call
bow upside down.
I'm just gonna call this the reverse archer glove now.
It is just a drawing so that when I'm drawing on top of my screen, my fingers are like not feeling so much the heat or not putting input onto the drawing table. I'm gonna try so I can basically show you. So my hand can slide better and while I'm drawing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm curious, is this how you made your illustrations for your book as well?
Pretty much, yeah. No,
Okay.
I've used. I also do this for my illustrations at work.
Because I thought you well, it wasn't all hand drawn. I thought you had to like use some shapes or something using the computer to make shapes. But I guess it's all handmade.
Dude, it's got to be. I use the computer basically to refine it, but the initial sketch is pretty much all handmade.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's cool. I see. You know, it's kind of. I've seen videos on how to draw or like pictures, illustrations, and I guess everyone really does it, right? You just start with the basic shapes, and then you sketch out the details afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit into details early on in the stage. Usually, people give more geometry. For example, I'm having a little bit struggle over here on the chin area. I guess that's good enough. Fuck it.
Make a manly chin, like Jim Carrey in that movie.
Nah. I'm making my boy Kim. This is an homage to Kim Jung Gi.
It's your boy Kim. Okay, cool. So I mean, you said you weren't sure he spoke English.
I mean, he wasn't like in so many Comic Cons. He was beloved by so many artists around the world who did speak English. Amongst them, he went to a lot of. Like, I follow his Instagram, so the dude is you'll see like tons of pictures of him like with other famous artists who are English. So I suppose he either understood like superficial English or whatever. But each interview I've seen of Kim, he only speaks Korean.
Oh, all right, okay.
Uh,
Because I mean, you said he's super famous, but he only drew like Korean comic books. Are they famous? Are they translated?
That is like the shocking of Kim Jong-hee. Like he did do like some comic books and like manga and Korean comic books, but he's mostly known for his amazing talent, not so much his like he's known for his skill and not exactly his artwork. Because his artwork, if you guys look around, I might even put it on stream a little bit, is that he just sits or just stands and goes up to a wall. I'm not talking even an A4 page or anything. He goes up to a wall and he just starts scribbling. Like he has no reference. He has no need for reference. He has no need for like guiding lines, no sort of sketch lines, nothing. He just immediately puts pen, ink on the wall, and everything he draws is perfect, or it's perceived perfect. There's a very funny video of him where he's basically just speaking with an audience and just painting and going and just doing this amazing like soldier helmet with all the details and like the buckles and the goggles and the soldier's expression, and he was doing that kind of like offhandedly while speaking to an audience like so yeah, because I'm speaking with you, I've already made like 4 mistakes, but I'm just gonna keep going because it doesn't matter. And the audience is like, oh, fuck off, fuck you.
So it's kind of what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
and draw. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm just half speaking to you and half trying to look information about this guy because I haven't really ever heard of him. I mean,
Yeah.
some of his art looks
It's
familiar,
messy.
so may
It's
have
so
seen it.
he's very known for doing this messy art style where he just draws upon like he draws a human figure, then he draws another human figure, then he draws another human then he draws an elephant, then he draws like a car crashing against the elephant, then he draws like a balloon flying above everyone. He's very like he basically just draws on a whim. What he's known for is his amazing style and how effortlessly he just draws everything.
So this is a person who's been drawing since he was a kid, then probably. Like if he
Probably.
doesn't need any reference anymore. So I'm guessing he's not like putting geometric shapes or sketches.
No,
anymore.
he does.
starts-
He just
goes
goes ham on it, which is
Right.
to me, it is unthinkable how a person can do that so easily, uh, without any like without years of training.
Hmm. Oh, look how fun! I see a picture of him using the reverse archer glove.
Yeah, that's
I
that. The
guess.
reverse archer glove is quite common in the world of arts.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, the dude. How to explain how amazing this guy is for people who don't know art? So I've already explained that he is amazingly talented. He has a people claim that he has like photographic memory because he actually didn't just draw things without reference.
Hmm.
He says that no, it's not so much for photographic memory. It's just that every day he just loves drawing, so he just goes out and draws and draws and draws, and
Right.
so that is a good way to remember stuff is just to keep drawing it, right? So he builds up a huge visual library for it. And afterwards, he also explains that it is not important to be precise with your drawing. It's only important to be like 40% there. What he means is if you're going to draw an engine, you don't actually need to draw each screw of the engine. You don't need to draw every cylinder. You don't need to make the reflection of the plate, the texture. Basically, all you need to do is just draw like the general shape of an engine.
Yeah.
And he probably say that there's a big cylinder up here that has another smaller cylinder in front. It has this weird wedge shape in the middle. And then it has like these other side bits where pipes come out of from.
So basically, he is an AI artist because that's what AI did, right? It was like it looked like something, but it wasn't quite
Yeah,
that thing.
he basically just gave the illusion of 40% there. He just draw like enough of a tank, enough of a motorbike, enough. I can't even draw this shit to save my life. It just is so how fucking effortlessly he does this shit. He just made it look so easy. But all it really mattered was for you to have part of the shape done, laid out, and the audience will fill in the blanks. You don't need to actually have the exact schematics, and that's how he applied to everything. Like he doesn't know the geometry of an elephant besides what he's seen before, and he doesn't know the geometry of cars. Like he's drawn cars before, but he doesn't know like the make, the model, how some of the rear lights look, how Mercedes has its leather couching, how is it designed. He just basically draws what he imagines in his head, and he tries to go as approximate as possible. 40% there is good enough. Then he just moves to the next thing. So that's one thing. That's why he's so good. The other is like in drawing, you have perspectives, and it's very common to have 2-point perspective. You've seen this a million times. Where if you want to draw a cube, you say, oh, there's the cube has this angle, and then you can draw a cube using the two perspectives in a space. Yeah, in a space. So basically you have, if you're looking at the stream, you can
Yeah, I am now. Yeah.
You can see that basically every line basically merges to the horizon, and this is a 2-point perspective.
Oh, interesting.
Then you have 3-point perspective, which is this. Let me just cancel everything out here. 3-point perspective is when you have a third axis. So basically you have the horizon, then you have a top. This is a very gimmicky perspective. Not many people use it, only because it's only useful if you want to give depth, like a building. So let's imagine, for example, that I have a skyscraper over here. And you want to show. Oh my god, I can't even do this very well. It's so difficult. Basically, it gives you a third angle. The perspective is also kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
see, I wouldn't even know that's how they were made. I knew of like these, I don't know what you call them, but yeah, I guess the focus points or
Yeah,
the
focus
perspective points.
I guess the perspective point, this one should actually be beneath, but it basically gives you a third axis to which to draw. And this axis is kind of gimmicky because usually to have a third point, this point would need to be like way high into the sky so that the angles wouldn't be as sharp as they are now. So that you can actually make something a bit more sensible, more like a building. In which case the building now has gentler curves, because usually when the perspective should always be towards your eyesight, and when you're at ground level looking up at a building, you don't see it curve upwards as much. You only see basically a straight line in front of you, but it's ever so slightly curving. And that's why the third point perspective is kind of difficult to use, because usually you don't have that much real estate on a canvas. How people compensate that, though, is when you use a fisheye perspective. And that is what Jung Gi was amazing at. Like, basically, he just drew things inside a sphere using the 3-point perspectives. And I'm not even going to attempt to replicate this. I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough. That is some high-tier shit that he could draw without reference, from memory, flawlessly, ink on fucking paper, on a fisheye perspective, and he just was having fun. See if I can just...
Come on, Seth, don't say never. It's like,
never.
One of those jokes. There's like a post about like a 52-year-old ripped guy, and then there's a question like, oh, what's your excuse?
Yeah,
and then some young kid, oh, I'm not 52. Look, you can get there, Seth. Once you're 47, maybe.
Nah. The 47, I need another 40 years on top of 47 to maybe understand the simple schematics of it. So
well, let's make another episode when you're 47 on your birthday, and then we'll see.
I'm gonna try to see him doing a fisheye lens, and I'm gonna put it on stream a little bit. Oh my god, this guy just... Oh my god. Like, I'm just gonna put these images very quickly on my display capture. Like, these images the dude has, where he's just going ham. He's painting a fucking wall, and he does this in a day. It is insane to me. Absolutely monstrosity. This one isn't actually the fisheye. I'm gonna like, his fisheyes are a bit more. This isn't fisheye either. It's just first person. This person. There you go. This is a fisheye perspective. He just does this shit.
This kind of roundish.
Yeah, but ha!
Like the lens.
Yeah. Like he mimics. Oh my god! It's just a mess of body shapes.
I see what
he just makes such complex designs. But I can see some construction lines though. Ha! See,
it looks very messy. I mean, from here, I don't know. It's a kind of a small picture on the screen right now, but it looks quite messy.
I mean, he is pretty much like, he enjoys these messy depictions where there's so much action going that each point of the picture has a mini story to tell, and it is in a fisheye perspective. But I also see construction lines, so thank God for that. He didn't just draw this from memory. So I assume he actually did some visual references. Like, the buildings look amazing, high detail. The cars, like I said, the bullet holes on the cars, the action going on everywhere, and it's all in fisheye also perspective. Christ, King Jung Gi, an absolute beast of a man.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
So did you ever read any of manhwas he made art for, or you just famous for?
Because I'm not much of a... King Jung
Yeah.
Gi, because I'm not much of a manga reader. I don't really like that art style.
Manhwa.
So
I'm checking, like, a Korean manga is called manhwa.
Manhwa. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was the Spanish
Apparently
invented
it's
it. But
right. Go on.
Yeah, I'm not so much of a manhwa fan. I never really cared for it. I only follow the dude because of his amazing talent. Like, and when he does these murals, like, full of detail and shit, that's the sort of thing I can spend hours looking at it. I was a huge fan. When he died, it was so sudden. I honestly felt like a family member died, because even though I never met him and I don't know the dude, and I've only known him for like 2 years or whatever, like, on the art scene. I've only known him for 2 years because I saw an interview where, like, an artist that I did follow was speaking madly about him. This dude, like, I'm a good artist. I'm a renowned artist. I've made a living as an artist. Not many people can claim that. And I think, I'm pretty good at what I do. Then I met King Jung Gi, and suddenly I realized that I'm a novice. I don't actually like this dude makes art look easy, and that's the biggest compliment that you can make, like a craftsman. Like when you say that, oh, dude, when you look at King Jung Gi draw and you feel like, oh, I can do that. It's easy. All I need to do is I'll just do what he does, and then you realize, oh no, oh no, no, he's that good. He just makes everything look effortless.
It is interesting, like how much experience affects your skill, right? Like I remember I'm getting completely derailed now, but
Go ahead.
I remember I was in China and I was to play badminton with a dude, and he was a little, he had a belly, he had a nice beer belly or whatever belly it was, something else. I'm like, oh, there's no way this guy can play well. I was a little naive at that time. And then the dude just rips it because he has technique. It doesn't matter what you look like, or like you don't know the experience that the body hides. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
Sometimes all you need is that muscle memory, just knowing what to do in any given situation. And as long as the dude has that, like he doesn't need to overcompensate with strength or with skill. All he needs to do is use that experience he has.
He just draw every day for, I don't know, I guess since he was 15 or something.
Probably younger. The dude probably started drawing out of the womb.
Oh, certainly. He was leaving like a cave painting in his mother's womb, certainly.
But yeah, this is for you, King Jung Gi, and I'm gonna dedicate the whole of today's streaming, like not the whole podcast. Like I suppose that we want to speak about other things, and by the end of the podcast, I will still keep drawing. But
sure.
I do wanna, I wanna pay homage to this guy. I've been owing the stream, an art stream, so I might as well.
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about that? What is this? Why have you promised an art stream? Why did you decide to do it? What do you want to show? I mean, besides the theme for today, what is it that you want to show by drawing on camera?
Basically just shooting the shits. Instead of gaming, might as well just draw. And there's always like hunger for people to watch other artists, and sometimes you can just draw silly stuff or just mess up or not take things very seriously.
Have you watched other artists do what you're doing? And do you think you do some things differently, or mostly all artists do the same thing?
No, almost all artists have something different. They have their own style or their own.
So for someone unfamiliar like myself, what would you say is that you do differently, or what is unique about the way you?
It's hard to explain, really. Even if it is just like the way you approach drawing, what's the figures that you like, the geometry that you use, because there's like a million ways for you to draw a human body. Like you have the old famous circle, center line, and a shield basically in the front, which you can then cut out lines and say this is the ear line, these are the eyes, and there's the nose that also roughly matches the ear line, and then you have the mouth, and so on and so on and so forth. This goes next connects to the jaw, and you have a neck behind. So this, like a sphere with a mask on top. It's also often been described as having a piece of paper attached to a ball.
Yeah.
So that
I really like that quick sketch. I'm gonna do that. No, because it was really quick. Because the other ones you're trying to be detailed, right? But that's actually okay. That's a face in what was 6 seconds or something?
Yeah.
7 seconds.
So
that's pretty cool.
That's one example of doing it. But then you have people that don't even use the sphere as much. They use kind of like a half sail. Like I'm going to do it in perspective because I only know this technique in perspective, which is your face basically does this shape. And it goes, here's the nose, the brow ridge, then you have lips and chin. And then it goes like, your head kind of has like a flattened football shape. And over here is ear. Oopsie daisy. Jawline. I kind of fucked up the head a little bit there. He's not fucking Egbert. Actually, this ear is a bit too far back. I guess for it to be correct, it'd have to be something like this. Exactly. And then the back of the neck. And so forth. Where you have now the eyes over here. and the nose detail and the mouth. And on this brow ridge, you have some eyebrows. Like, the half sail technique is kind of confusing to me because I don't know how to apply it in any other shape other than profile. Like, if you want to draw it at I don't know,
From the front.
Anything other than profile. I'm like, how does that work? Is it like this? I don't know. I'm not.
It's fun. We had one day we just had is it Pictionary? I don't know. We just played the game where one person writes like a few words on a piece of paper. Then you pass the paper. They read the words. They draw, and then you pass the drawing to the next person. They only see the drawing, and that person tries to describe in words what it is, and you keep passing this around the group, right? It's like a group game, and it's fun to see that even people that don't really know how to draw, or well, I wouldn't say never drew. We all drew as kids, right? At some point. But it's interesting to see that even people who don't draw, they can represent the most basic simple things, and it's fairly obviously like complex ideas. If it's something abstract, there is no way they're gonna be able to draw it. But simple things, animals, people, like they can make a stick figure or whatever. They can make it perceivable, and it's fun to see how different people have different styles out of people who don't draw.
Yeah, I mean, drawing the body is another one that has like a bajillion shapes. A very common one that you've probably seen is the very blocky head, torso, hips, followed by thighs, shins, and little triangles for feet, and the same thing.
That's a person?
Yes.
Interesting.
And you can, using this frame, you can then draw like upon the chest, how it tapers inwards during the belly, the midsection, how it goes back out if you're a man to the thighs. Your thighs kind of do this shape. Well, that's, a man is more straight. And then have the knee and your shins. Basically, you can just then fill out from this general shape and make your whole character like so. And this is a very easy model to use because it is easy to make it like in perspective. Like you have the cylinder of the head. Oh my god. Like seen from above, then you have like the shoulders that go down. You have here the belly and then the hips that you can barely see. This is all foreshortened, so you can very clearly make an image on your mind, like the general shape of the dude, using like this very simple gestures. So this is the one I use the most. But there's other people that feel like the complexities of the torso needs to have a little bit more detail. Which, how do they do it? It's like the egg thing. I think the whole torso basically represents a broken egg.
A broken egg.
Yeah, so basically there is how is it done? I don't remember. So I'm not gonna go attempt it. But yeah, they have different ways of drawing the torso, and that gives more fluidity to how the body moves. Because basically your pecs and your abs kind of form a straight line. So it doesn't really make sense to have like a square. This is a profile drawing. A square for your chest and then a ball for your abs, and then so usually it should be like something like this is actually the shape of your torso, and then your abs break in the middle, and this is the shape of your pelvis, something like this. And this part here, like this where I have the circle, doesn't really matter because this is the bendy part of the spine. So you can go it can like bend on the joint, but
so I'm looking at this from the side, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. When I say profile is side. Face is obviously face. And then you have like a perspective views or whatever, which is something like usually entirely different. And going back to my boy G.
Okay, Kim Jung Gi.
So yeah, that was
interesting. It's interesting. There, it's Kim Jong Il, Kim Jong Un, Kim Il Sung, like right. It's all like Kim Dynasty is very strong.
Seems so.
I wonder. I do wonder how. I mean, is there any other country where the surname is so the surnames are so dominant? Like in Portugal, what are the most? I'm gonna look it up. What are the 3 most
Silva.
common surnames in Portugal? But Portugal is weird, right? Because we don't have just one surname, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we have the family, like the mom side and the dad side and whatever.
Then don't people sometimes have like 4 surnames and stuff?
And yeah, because they then add their grandparents' surname or like an old family surname. Like you have the mother, the father, and then you have like a great ancestor or whatever. Yeah, there are people that have like 6 or 7. And I, for example, I have 2 first names. I have João Vasco. So yeah.
Yeah, but I just people just arbitrarily. Well, I guess we'll have 7 names because we can't decide which one we can compromise them.
I guess that's pretty much how it goes. I want this name, but I also want this name. I want this name, but what about this name? This name has to go. Can we remove any of them? No. All right, the kid is gonna have 12 names then.
I was thinking about that. If I were to ever have a kid, like how would that be? How many names do you have? Like at some point, and what about their kids? Like at some point, don't you want to have the parents before them and before them? Like how long is it gonna go? Are you just gonna start marrying people with the same surname so you can have a shorter name, or are you gonna double the name? Like I don't know, João Vasco Correia, just because there were 2 Correia in 2 sides of the family.
I mean, I'm fairly certain that if I marry someone called Correa, we can just need 1 Correa. But I do know a guy, and I shit you not, who is called. First name doesn't matter. Then his surname is Silva the Silva.
Oh,
so,
well, fun fact: Silva is the most common name in Portugal. It says 9.44%.
Yeah,
so 995,000 or some. Oh, is that how it works? I don't know how this is done. Anyway, about 10% Silva. Number 2 is Santos, which goes down to like 6%. It's 1/3 less, I guess. And then Ferreira. 5.25, Pereira, Oliveira. It's just Eiras. It's just a bunch of Eiras.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's just Eiras. Well, I guess, and then it keeps going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Silva, really? Silva is the most common one. Let's see the most common Korean names.
It's all Kim. It's all Kims.
Oh, let's have a guessing game. Which ones do you think are the second and third? Because I think
in Korea,
know one of them.
I have no fucking idea, dude. Jesus, I didn't live there like some people.
No, come on, just make a guess. You've heard some
Kim.
names. Okay, number 1.
All I've heard is Kim. That's all I know. That is all I know.
Really? Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I knew like one of the most common ones is E, but in English it's just written as Lee, although it's E. They don't say Lee. So I'm pretty sure that's one of them, and I'm not sure about the other. Let me see if I can find this. Surnames? Korean surnames. Oh, no, I want the most common Korean surnames. Most top Korean surnames. Top common Korean surnames. Let's see. By prevalence. Okay, great. Kim, number 1.
Got it, nailed it. First try.
No one is surprised. It's like 21%. Compare this to Silva in Portugal, which is a little bit less than 10%. This is 21.51%. This is like 1/5 of the population is Kim. Like right. when you meet another Kim, you don't even know if they're a cousin or not.
It might as well be.
Okay, and here you go. You have number 2 is E, and also. Yeah, E. Okay, E is number 2. They just have different writings in English. Lee, Re, for whatever reason. Oh, and number 3 is Park, which makes sense. Okay, you probably have heard a lot of Parks.
Yeah, Jisung Park and all that shit.
Yeah, see? You did know some. And Mr. Jung is number 4.
Oh.
Our dear friend Kim. Well, I guess he's Kim Jung Gi. I don't know if that's like a extension. But there you go. Kim number 1, E number 2, which is at 14%, almost 15. Park is at 9%. So Park is a little less common than Silva in Korea than Silva is in Portugal. And Kim is so dominant. Oh my god. I'm curious now. I want to see all the countries.
Please don't.
Spain. What do you think? What do you think? The most common Spanish.
We have to
surname?
stop this conversation.
Well, it's Spain,
Oh my god. The most common surnames in Spain. Also Silva.
Okay, wait. Okay, well, we'll stop here just because they're a neighbor. Okay, the most common one is Garcia.
Damn it!
And then it's Martinez, and Rodriguez, and Fernandez, and Sanchez, and Lopez. It's just a bunch of S. As we have Eira, they just have S.
I feel like Silva should be more represented in Spain.
Okay. Is it Silva isn't even on the list?
I'm surprised. But I guess, I'm surprised at the same time. I just chose my ignorance, I suppose.
Yeah, but anyway, there you go. Just a random derail. That's my bad. Let's look at the painting here. What's happening?
No, fuck the painting. We can talk about something else. Like,
well, we'll just go with the flow.
Yeah, so we've discussed the names. We discussed our boy King Jung Gi. Now, on another topic about art, and something that is very close and dear, something that inspired me to become an artist, Lord of the Rings. I have always been a massive fantasy fan because of Lord of the Rings, and I've told you in a previous podcast how scared I was about the Amazon series that they were making, because I think that the franchise has been bastardized ever since The Hobbit came out, the first one. Like they've just been like stamping on nostalgia grounds over and over and over, trying to milk the franchise for all it's worth. And oh my god, I lost my pen. No, I can't draw without my pen. Oh, there it is. And so when I heard that they were making an Amazon series, and the Amazon series was like one of the biggest, most expensive series ever made, and it was gonna be huge. Amazon, Jeff Bezos himself opened his checkbook and said, "Do whatever you want. I want Gandalf live on screen. God damn it! I want to see the conception of Gandalf. I want to see his parents doing it." And then they just dropped everything to make the Lord of the Rings of Power prequel. And I remember watching it, and I saw like some of the images for the series. Like, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty all right. So I was kind of like, is this? I think it looks good, but I don't trust Amazon like to hold my own shit. You know, I wouldn't throw shit at them out of fear that they might try and sell it to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is shady. So when I was like reticent about the Amazon Rings of Power, like, okay, I'll give it a try. I finally did that. I saw like one episode of it, and all my fears came true. Turns out it's basically just a fucking cash grab. It is a horrible series. It is gorgeous looking, by the way. I think it is a series that by looks alone, it is astonishingly beautiful. It looks like a goddamn... Each episode looks like a movie on its own, and it looks like a high fidelity movie. So I was super surprised by that. But the dialogue is shit. The story is predictable. The characters are kind of ruined and bastardized, in my opinion. And like the world looks kind of lame. So go on.
I am a little curious. I've been thinking about that. They make it's not uncommon for people to shit on shows or movies that they are.
Yeah, that's our bread
and
butter.
Good. They look good, but there is no story behind them.
Yeah.
But I wonder, the studios that make them, and when they make that decision, is it because when they make a movie like that looks very good, just more people go watch it, even if they don't like it? They just spend the money to go to the theater because it looks gorgeous. Because that's the
also nostalgia,
that's the
right?
book on the shelf.
It's the title, Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power, and also the prestige of it. It's the most expensive show all the time. I mean, they marketed that when they released the show. They marketed how expensive it was.
But do you think the population at large is watching the show and they're still watching it and they're enjoying it because it looks so good?
I don't think they
Is it
are.
just a small proportion of us that are these purists that want a good story out of a story
No, I think
instead of
most
just
people want the good story. I think some people can make excuses for it. Like, imagine that this was the 8th season, Game of Thrones reference. If this was the 8th
Here we
season,
go again.
there's so much good faith behind it, like that people can make excuses and say, "Oh no, but that's how the story was meant to end." You know, I got it, I understood it. Like they speed it up a little bit because you don't need like the most common excuse is, "I don't need to see them travel from one point of the continent to the other. I'm fine. Let's just hurry up and get to the good bits." And people are like that, and you have that opinion. But ultimately, what matters is the story, and the story of Game of Thrones, whether it was done correctly or not, was good. Is a good story. Now you can say that they rushed the dramatic beats and all that. Fine. I personally think it ruined it, but some people actually enjoyed it. I don't know many, but some did. And on the Rings of Power prequels to the Lord of the Rings, the story is not good. The characters are not good. They don't have the good faith of, like, you didn't see these characters evolve before your eyes and to the point where they are now. You just see this two-dimensional, bland, uninteresting character with horrible dialogue, or with it's the dialogue that it's a cardinal sin. It's like that pseudo intellectual dialogue of, like, they try to seem mythical and they make every speech very philosophical, like, "Oh, do you know why ships float?" And you're like, yeah, because the wood floats, and if you have a big enough surface it stays adrift on the water. And they go, "No, it is because one must love the beauty of the sky, and the ships want to be close to the beauty of the sky and not to the darkness of the depths." Fuck off! That's horrible dialogue. Horrible, like, a bit of insight. Why do ships float? Is because they don't want to, like, they want to
Why
be.
did you become Trump suddenly?
Oh god, yeah, but that character spoke like Trump. It was a horror. Like, all the dialogue is based on that pseudo philosophical
Ships
bullshit.
float because we're gonna make
A
a
beautiful
pay for it.
ship, and the Valar are going to pay for it.
Okay, so it's such a bad show. I haven't watched anything. Oh my god! But like, people are still watching, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't.
I don't
keep
think
going
so.
with it. They're not. You think it's a major flop in terms of revenue? I don't even know how revenue works for these things. Is it
I mean, I
just,
think that people that have Amazon will probably keep watching it if they are for gluttons for punishment. There are a lot of people that watch shit because they want to see. They either they want to see if it gets good, or if they want to see, like, their favorite characters show up or whatever.
Right. It's familiarity, right?
Yeah,
People want some comfort as well. Like, sometimes I also want to watch a movie. I think, oh, what do I want to watch? And like, oh, I don't want to watch a new movie. I don't know what it's gonna be like. I
yeah,
just want like a mellow experience, something familiar.
pretty much.
I guess I get it. Yeah, and I
So
mean,
yeah.
for me, just on that regard, like, having some familiarity. I mean, at this point, I don't think I care about Marvel movies anymore. Like, I tried to watch, like, oh, I'll guess maybe it's gonna be good. They're not good. Like, none of them have been good for a while.
Yeah,
It's just
I've also become disillusioned with Marvel movies, and to the point where I didn't see the latest Thor,
Thunder and
yeah.
Love.
Like, I was actually kind of curious to see that because, yeah, my boy Taika Waititi, and I think that Taika Waititi is mostly good than bad. I think I liked all his movies, so I was like, oh, good, Taika Waititi, he's like a recipe for success. But I was kind of already getting sick of watching Marvel movies, but I was gonna give it a shot. I wasn't gonna be day one on the cinema, but I was gonna. No, I wanted to see it. But as soon as, like, the first reviews came out saying, like, it's basically just Marvelisms to the extreme, and it's just joke after joke after joke nonstop, and there is no, like, serious beats, and like, the pandering is there, and the story doesn't quite hold up, and I was like, there was a barrage of so much critique. I was like, you know what? I don't need to see this. I don't need to go through it. I'll see it at home when it comes out, and I'm good enough with that.
Yeah, I wonder how much say he had in how he directed it, because I don't know, it didn't feel very Taika Waititi-ish. I don't think many of the jokes were good. I mean, there were some funny bits, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched the movie, so I don't know. But I'm also not very interested in doing so. Like,
Yeah,
I've
fair
also
enough.
not watched, like, the latest Marvel one, which is She-Hulk.
Ah,
I've also heard a lot of
I'm
people
not
shit
going to.
talk, and to be honest, like, I was curious to watch She-Hulk because I had a theory, or I had a feeling or a rumor that Daredevil is going to show up, and apparently he still is. I'm not. I don't know if he has already or not. And I'm a huge fan of Daredevil. I think Daredevil is a cool character. But yeah, the show was also had this barrage of criticism that I think is justified. Like, it's not like, ooh, it's a show with a woman, therefore show is bad. Like some people, the criticisms that they add to the show would be something that I would have not liked. So they're like, oh, they do that? I'm not really interested. And I feel like Marvel in general, Disney in general, like you had these shows, and I've also kind of got tired of Star Wars. I haven't watched the Obi-Wan one. There's a new show apparently that is really good, which is called Endor, and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to see it. But people are actually complimenting Endor. I just haven't.
By the way, there is someone in chat. I do apologize, Alex46. I am on chat duty as Sev is busy. Well, Alex was saying we need to build a wall to keep the ice people out.
Of course, of course.
In reference to your to the She-Hulk, she says that he did show up.
Oh, he did. Oh, well, did
Daredevil.
Matthew Cox or whatever his name is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even bother. It's like one of these movies are. I just see them as memes apparently, like all over the place. It's same with the Morbius. I didn't even want to watch that. Like the first time I watched this, I was like, ugh. See this? This is stupid.
Yeah, it is clearly. It's just clearly a producer that is either completely out of touch with reality, or there's like a money laundering scam behind it or something. Like sometimes, or even like sometimes movies are made not so much because they have an idea, the vision that they want to carry out. Sometimes movies are made because if the company doesn't release a movie with a property, they lose the rights to that property. That's how the Fantastic Four movies, just like the last one that was a complete shit. That's why those movies kept being made, because Universal didn't want to lose the rights to Fantastic Four. So they're getting close to the deadline. It was like, fuck, we got to release something, and they just shit it out. There's a lot of situations, especially in like the comic book world, where that happens. I think there is something similar with Hulk. Like Hulk is also Universal property, and the Fantastic Four, was it? I don't know if Fantastic Four was Universal or Sony. I think it was Universal. But going back to the Hulk, Hulk is also a property that belongs to Universal, and like Universal has the rights as long as they keep making movies. But apparently, if they wanted to make movies, they needed permission from Disney, but Disney doesn't give permission. So they're basically in this standstill where none of them they're not going to let the other one make a standalone Hulk movie. That's why Hulk has never been in a standalone movie. He's always like appeared in someone else's movie. And they're just waiting for the years to go by, and so that Universal loses the rights for Hulk, and so it goes back to Marvel. And I think that's going to happen soon.
Very confusing.
Yeah, there's like so much
confusing.
Yeah, there's a lot of legalese on all that shit.
Okay, Alex is mentioning if a movie is shot in Georgia or Germany, they actually get money from the government to shoot in those places. So sometimes they'll throw out the cheapest movie they can make and just cash in their government check. So when you say the government gives money, would that be the local government, the German or the Georgian government?
Sometimes I think there are tax incentives for it. Like if you make a movie there, the taxes you pay are next to nil, and you get the revenues of releasing your movie sometimes. It does seem like a lot of the times people just make movies to launder money, or because they have a tax scheme involved.
Oh, and Alex says Georgia is in U.S. Georgia. Okay, I actually was thinking of the country, as you mentioned, Georgia or Germany.
I mean, one of the biggest examples of that is Canada. There's so many movies that are filmed in Canada for that reason, because of tax benefits.
Man, let's get in on that hustle. Let's just
make a random
like people have it's like those people who do is it patent trolling? We can be like rights expiration trolls. Like, hey, you're gonna expire, better make a movie. Hey, we're your guys. Come on. We have no experience, but
I'm pretty sure
you'll keep the rights.
I'm pretty sure there are people that already do that very well. But yeah, this
it's what happened with the Lord of the Rings, you think?
No, maybe
well, that's a huge budget. I don't think
New Line, but New Line Cinema probably is they probably felt like, oh, we have to release something soon, otherwise we're going to lose the rights for Lord of the Rings, and that's our only cash cow. Because isn't like New Line Cinema like almost going bankrupt or whatever? Isn't there like only property being? Isn't it like Lord of the Rings?
I haven't even heard that. Oh, okay. I recognize the logotype. Okay, I have no idea. Man, I didn't know there was so much drama in this regards, in regards to expiration of licenses and stuff.
Yeah, that's mostly.
That's kind of crap, isn't it?
Yeah, each time there's like a big budget movie that has been made, and it's so bad that you have no idea why people would ever greenlight it. Like the story seems like shit.
Like Greenlight?
I suppose.
Green Lantern, was it? Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yes,
Green Lantern, I think was during the age where people were just still discovering how to make comic book movies. So I don't think Green Lantern is a good example of it. But yeah, each time the movie is out that is so bad, it's mostly because I can fucking get the glasses right. It's mostly because a company or a producer was just trying to get a tax benefit out of it, or because they were just trying to keep like legal rights to keep the franchise within their studio or whatever.
Have you ever done animation?
Yes, but what sort of animation?
Well, just like you're drawing, but having it animated.
No, I did motion graphics. I never animated that. That seems like a lot of work and a field of expertise that I'm not that familiar with.
Okay. I would like to be able to just sometimes I have these thoughts and I see them, and I'd like to have a way to let people like see it as well. Mm-hmm. But I don't have the skill. I'm thinking, oh, then I have to spend like, I don't know, like 5-10 years to be able to draw, to be able to convey the ideas I have in my mind, and then by that time maybe I don't want to convey the idea anymore and I give up. But like I really wish my superpower would be thought streaming. Like, you know what, that question, like what superpower would you have? I would have thought streaming. I can just stream my thoughts to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much every artist's dream, right? Like you want to convey the story.
Because you actually want to do the art. You actually have the superpower. It's
no. It's just shit. No one wants to do the art. No one wants to do the art. Everyone just wants to have the art done.
No, you just literally said, like, at the start of the stream, King Jung Gi, like, loved drawing so much he just drew every day for no reason whatsoever out of just...
And the dude died of a heart attack, just...
There you go, kids, don't draw just because you want to.
Yeah, but... Yeah, drawing... I feel like most people draw because they like the storytelling element of it. Like, they like seeing the progress and putting images that you're in your head to life. But I'm fairly certain if you could do it like automatically with consciousness streaming, all artists would retire immediately.
You think so? I think there are a lot of people who enjoy that. And Alex is saying, I thought you said thought streaming, like just have huge titties and make money off thirsty internet bros.
Thought
in
streaming.
Reference to what? What did we say? Did we say something similar to thought?
We said thought as in THOUGHT, and not thought as in that hot the hot one.
The thought. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, we have been discussing if we start accepting donations and then Sev can have a bathtub stream. What do you think of that, Alex?
He'd be the first one in it.
Yeah, and if we got enough donations, then it would be enough to pay for my trip to Sev's place, and then we can both be in the bathtub, which is great, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe in a couple of years. If Sev shows feet, I'm blanking my bank account. There you go, Sev. You have a market.
I'm fairly certain I already showed feet on the stream.
Your own?
Yeah, no. The cats. No, of course my own.
The cats are called paws. Come on, Sev. We both know that. Apparently, it has been noted, Sev. Someone has seen them. Oh well, apparently it went well.
It's on WikiFeeds by now, I suppose.
There's a wiki. What is that?
Oh my god! It's almost you sweet summer child. It's almost like you've never heard of the internet.
What is WikiFeed?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
WikiFeed is a photo sharing food fetish website dedicated to sharing photos of celebrities' feet Oh my god. What? Okay, I guess there's interest for everything, but is there like a nose feed, no wiki nose? I'm curious now. Is there other random stuff?
I mean, WikiFeed is
There is no, there is.
there is infamous like WikiFeed is infamously like it is infamously like the foot fetishes in Hollywood are like well documented, so it makes sense that there's a WikiFeed. Wiki Nose seems like a gimmicky website.
No,
Like
no
making
such thing yet.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's. Well, I guess people like feet.
Yeah, that's been a fetish. Hey, no king shame here, no king shame. But I never understood that fetish. Like supposedly
Yeah,
Quentin
that's fine.
Tarantino is another guy that is infamous for having a foot fetish. That's why every one of his movies has like a scene where the actress has their feet prominently shown.
Okay, that's a fun fact.
Like a Wikipedia for celebrity feet. Is there Pokimane? Probably.
I don't know. But
Pokemon
apparently,
is,
Alex has clipped your foot reveal or whatever you call
Fun
it.
fact: the writer for Kami-san has a foot fetish, and he makes it very obvious in his art. What? Sorry, what did you say about clipped? Oh, I think I clipped it. Oh, Alex clipped my foot reveal. Very good. So,
I was just
are we
wondering what
done?
Kami-san is.
Are we done shit talking? Are we done shit talking? Rings of Power, because I can go on. I can explain why the show is bad if people don't
Well,
mind
I didn't even
spoilers.
watch it, so and now that you say that, I'm like, well, I guess I won't bother. I don't know. There's so many things I'm not watching now. Why watch that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying House of the Dragon a lot. Like they
Yeah,
changed
it's
the
good.
actress. Like,
Wait, I haven't watched the latest episode. I think you're always ahead of me, so calm down. Yes.
have you seen
but,
the new actress though?
Yes, I have, because you put it in our thumbnail before I watched that episode.
No. But you haven't seen the episode. She's been in 2 episodes now.
Yeah, I only saw one of them. House of the Dragon is good, Alex, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
It's good. It's good.
It's a bit more. It's a bit slower paced. Oh, it's weird to say it's slower paced because it has time jumps and everything. It feels slower paced because it focuses on the politics more. I personally think it's good, and there's like some action scenes to break out the politics, so I think it's done really well. The dialogue is also much better. I don't think it's like a Game of Thrones first 4 seasons quality, A tier quality, but the dialogue is pretty good. And one of the things I like about this show is even though that the protagonist is female, they don't make her the stereotypical Hollywood bad bitch. I can do everything I want because I'm a
strong woman.
woman. I'm a woman, and you don't know how hard it is for me. There's elements of that in the series, but she's shown as she's shown as a strong woman, but also as a flawed woman, and I think as a flawed character even. And I think that is really. That's refreshing to see. I even mentioned it on the previous podcast. I liked it a lot. I think it's a well-made show.
It is good, and it. I mean, I guess for me, I don't remember what the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones were about anymore. Like I can barely remember. I know it started with Daenerys, this and that. She's being sold for I don't know horses or
Basically, the
ships
first
or whatever.
yeah, the first 4 seasons are about like the struggles of the kingdom, like Robert the king dying and the next in line being illegitimate. It was all about the politics of royalty and the lineages and the houses and relationships and loyalties and all that shit.
But I like that. That's what builds a character, right? And I
Mhm.
feel the show right now, House of the Dragon, feeling-wise, is very reminiscent of that. It's like discovery and learning and understanding the characters, and I really like that. And you mentioned the time lapse. I mean, I only watched 1 episode after that, so it wasn't very clear what the point of that was. I think it was just the what's the word? It was just a setup, right? And I think probably in the next few episodes we know where it's going, because it's just the reveal. Like, okay, this happened, time change, and now it's gonna go in a specific direction, right? But you don't quite see where it is. Not
Yeah.
Not exactly, but you already see some rifts in characters. You see change in relationships, and that's interesting, right?
Yeah,
That's what
the only
makes a good
if I
story.
if I had to criticize the show, and I wouldn't criticize it much, is just that the time lapses sometimes feels jarring. Like sometimes you feel like you're gonna spend more time in a certain area. Like there's more things to delve deeper into. Like imagine that there's a big betrayal between two characters, and you kind of want to see the outcome of that. No, time jump 20 years in the future or 10 years in the future. Like oh, I guess they
Water under the bridge.
yeah, and pretty much the next time the characters show up, like, oh, I remember that one time where we didn't get along, but we're friends now. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that got fixed. That does happen like once or twice, and it is a bit annoying. But besides that, the show is mostly A tier, I think.
Yeah. I think we're gonna end up talking. Is like, yeah. Before we just bashed Game of Thrones, now we just keep talking about House of the Dragon. Do we even watch other shows? Did you ever watch Barry?
No, but I did watch, and I think I mentioned it on this stream, on my stream, not on the podcast, about a show called Bear, which is a food
Bear?
basically show. It's a food show, and it is really good. I recommend it vividly.
Okay. And Barry, it's with comedian. What's his name?
I know the guy. He appeared on It.
I didn't know that. I didn't watch that movie. What's the name of this actor? He's Bill Hader.
Exactly,
Bill Hader, I
that's the
think.
guy.
Yeah, yeah. And the show is actually quite good, and it is, I mean, at least for me, different enough. It's it takes the storytelling in a bit different direction. It's more, it's like dark humor, but also kind of serious. I think it's quite good, and it's also nice to see Bill Hader actually play a character instead of just being a fool on camera.
He's
And,
actually a
he's
very
quite
good dramatic actor, by the way.
Yeah, he is good. He is pretty good.
I've seen like on It, he's like the star of the show of the movie, and the second movie is pretty ass, but he's amazing on it. Like I always feel like the best actors often have a comedic background or something. I've seen several actors that when they like one of my favorite actors right now. And I haven't seen him in a while, is John C. Reilly, he's known for like making like pothead movies and like being a comedian. He's also quite an ugly man, so he's always plays that the big doofus role, like, I'm an idiot. But each time he appears on a more dramatic piece, the dude steals the show. He knows the perfect timings for like a bit of levity. He also knows how to express immense pain and hurt. Like he steals the show. Honestly, I love John C. Reilly. I'd marry him.
Yeah, Alex is also mentioning Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But I think maybe those characters is like Jim Carrey, and there is another guy. What's his name from Breaking Bad? That guy. It's because people perceive them as one thing for so long, and they just showed a completely different side of them, and it was just whoa, where did that come from? And I feel like if they hadn't done the comedy, if you hadn't watched their comedy and you just seen, oh, that's good acting, but you wouldn't have such a strong reaction, right? If you haven't just had a preconceived idea about them.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey is the same thing.
But Jim Carrey does seem like a goofball in real life. Like he seems like a weird. I'm not gonna say weird, but he does seem eccentric. However, so did Robin Williams, the dude who that ended up killing himself. You know, the genie from Aladdin. Like they had these really larger than life personalities, which is also often is quite tragic. Most comedians and most like those more jokey personalities, they do tend to have a backstory in drama, and like they have very tragic stories or very tragic lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Jim Carrey, he was having some sort of midlife crisis, I guess, and existential crisis.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense. If you listen to him speak about it, it makes sense because what was it? He was saying like he was trying to be also kind of not inspirational, but poetic about the way he was explaining things. So he said, "Oh, before I felt like what was it? Jim Carrey is the universe is around Jim Carrey, and now Jim Carrey is for the universe. I don't know, something like that. This is not a good paraphrase of what he said. But he was saying, like, before it was everything was about me. I was in the center, and the universe was around me. And then now I feel like what I remember now what he said. Before it was Jim Carrey experiencing the universe, and now it's the universe experiencing Jim Carrey. That's what he said. And I think he was just having a crisis where, he was the center of attention. He was always performing, performing in interviews and stuff. He was always trying to be fun. He mentioned that, like he was trying to convey this idea of a great life, has a lot of money, everything's great, he loves everything. But I think then he lacked some genuine connections, because obviously if you're in that spot where you're very famous and very rich, it is very hard to tell if the people's interest in you are genuine. And I think he struggled with that. And he painted a lot, by the way. He was painting. Like he just retreated and just painted. He disappeared.
Most artists do have like that, like 2 or 3 talents, not just like being an actor. Like the Hugh Jackman of this world, where the dude Hugh Jackman basically is a singer. He dances. He acts. He writes. There's a lot of people that basically have like 5 or 6 talents.
But yeah, Jim Carrey, poor guy. He struggled. I guess he's doing what he's doing now.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of these actors also don't know how to deal with the fall from grace. Like one example of that is, I think, Will Smith, who despite being the biggest star in the 90s, he basically did fall under the radar as he grew older. Like Tom Cruise is still as relevant today, I think, as he was in the 90s. But Will Smith struggled with it, and he struggled with his personal life, and he struggled with like being relevant, and I don't think he coped with any of that well. And yeah.
And Alex mentions regarding Jim Carrey, didn't he give Ellen a big painting at some point and surprised everyone because it was so good? From my understanding, he just retreated and just painted and did almost nothing else for like 2 years at least or something, obsessively. So I don't know. I wonder. Do you think anyone can get good if they just like paint?
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're going to be exceptional, just good.
Yeah, of course. If anything that you practice, you eventually become good at it.
Okay. It's kind of that question: is it about talent, or is it more about practice and experience? Is it both?
There is such a thing as being innately born with talent. Like that's the that's the old Messi versus Ronaldo debate. Like Messi,
do you believe that?
Yeah, you can be born with an inclination towards something that you just your body is just built for it. Basically, or like you have certain
inclination. Sure,
you have the right temperament to understand something quicker. Like I think that I've always been a patient person. Even as a kid, I was always I always like to like play with my toys just in solitude and make up little stories and little games. And I think that temperament of being patient is good for drawing, because you need to be patient while drawing, and it's good for storytelling. And I consider myself I love telling stories. So there's some things that you are born with and your temperament that makes you prone to then learning future skills that are perceived good. That's the Messi versus Ronaldo debate, where Ronaldo is amazing because his temperament was obsession, was to obsessively work to become the best. Yeah, and while Messi was more inclined to play. He enjoyed just the artistry of feeling the ball to his feet. And also because Messi is shorter, lower center of gravity, dribbling is easier to him. It comes like controlling the ball close to his body, which is a very difficult talent. It was just something he had the build to do better. Ronaldo being tall and lanky, he might have power, but he doesn't have as grace. He can like force his body to be agile, but he will never be as agile as Messi, who was just born that way. So, and that also applies to dancers, to obviously the biggest example is runway models. They're clearly born with beauty. And
I don't know if I agree with that. From my understanding, it's like most of them just gotta be skinny as shit, and that's just dedication.
yeah, but there's
and
also a
obsession.
lot to do with body
Bone
genetics.
structure. Yeah, you need to have some certain bone structure and stuff. Yeah, I guess. And Alex is saying most people are afraid of doing things and failing, so they never get started.
That's another
The
thing,
road to
yeah.
being good, yep, and the road to being good at things comes with accepting failure.
That is
Yeah, it's interesting.
200% true.
Yeah, and Seth has like a few entries on his blog about his, well, I wouldn't say failures, but his perception of his failures on his
Yeah,
illustrations.
most of the time, your failure is not like when you do something. Ah, fuck! I ruined it. It's shit. It's absolute trash tier garbage. And if you show it to someone else, the circle's like, dude, that's good. Like most of your failures in your own perception is what you wanted to take out of it. What was your goal of it to begin with?
Right, his expectations against
Reality.
implementation or whatever reality. Yeah, and Alex says, which is awfully rich coming from me. Well, I don't know, Alex, so maybe it's a message to you.
No,
Zev.
everyone struggles with that shit. Like even right now, I'm fairly aware that this drawing isn't going as like I want it to, but I'm just having a jolly good time with the conversation.
I have a kind of a test of judgment, let's say. So there was this girl that painted. She was decent. She was good. And one day she was drunk, and she took the painting that she had already, well, arguably finished, and she decided to paint over it. The next day, when she was sober, she realized she completely messed that up. Now, what is your judgment on that?
I mean, depends on your personality. Some people deal with that really well. Like I had an art teacher that basically as soon as he finished the painting, he would be okay with destroying his art because he said that painting is always transformative. Like art is always transformative. Like you can't hold on to it. You can't be precious about every fucking line that you draw.
What does this mean, transformative? Like what does it transform? What does it mean? Why no, the question is, why does being transformative imply you can destroy it?
Because it is telling you not to be precious about your work. Like not to be obsessed with it. Like, oh, I draw this line was perfect, I'll never be able to do it again. No, it doesn't matter that you'll never be able to do it again. That's the point of art. The next line you'll make will be different. Like then if you can do the same art piece twice, both times will be different. You shouldn't be precious to the work that you have, only focus on the work that you can still do. And that's basically he burned his art pieces as like a statement to that effect. And to some point I agree with him. Like some people, and I'm guilty of this. Like some people get really pissed off if imagine that you walked into my office right now and you just like fucked up my drawing. I mean, dude, what the fuck? And then you saved. It's like, oh, dude, fucking hell. Now I'm gonna have to redo the painting part. Fuck you. But
I think most people would be angry if
Yeah,
someone else did it.
if it was-
it's your choice, it's your choice. But
yeah,
if
it's a
someone
bit
else
of a dickish move. But that's why I was saying that girl is kind of curious because she did it to herself. So if she has the mindset of, oh, you know what? Let's work with this. Now it's more abstract. Let's work with what we've done.
Okay.
Then I guess she'd be okay with it. But if she's like me and like most artists, oh goddamn, now I have to start over again. This is a Peepers with Benny moment. Let's admire how Peeps loves the baby boy Benny.
Okay. Aww.
A
The
big,
cat must be like, your voice is soothing to me, Sev. Keep talking. Yes, I will rest.
so yeah,
Meow.
I suppose that some people, like if she is the sort to like have to be very precious with her work, which she seems to have been. Yeah, it sucks. Bummer. Don't get so drunk next time.
No,
girl.
she was laughing about it, and I was like,
Yeah,
well,
that's good.
silly.
That's good. That's a good mentality to have, I think.
That's silly. But yeah, it was kind of sad, in my opinion, but whatever. I guess it is, it doesn't matter. It is done. As Alex says, the art has already been made. For you, it's over. That's it.
Yeah.
When I don't know what controls... Me when I don't know what Control plus Z is. Okay.
Yeah, that is the
Did you
undo
know,
button.
just random fact, did you know you cannot spell homeowner without meow?
Home owner. Oh no, very good. Very good.
There's some random posts from some people online.
Yeah, that's very Tumblr of you.
But I like it. I like it. And people always get confused and like, oh, that's nice. So you can't have a home without a cat, I guess.
True.
Did
I,
you
I
have?
I agree with that statement. Cats are awesome.
Did you ever have dogs? Not much of a dog person.
I
Other
am a
animals, other
huge dog
pets?
person. I love animals and I do love dogs especially. However, yeah, I've always lived in small apartments, and I always wanted a
Right,
big
right.
dog. So I think it's irresponsible to just get a dog. And also, I live alone most of the time, and now it's fine because I work from home, so I'd always have enough time for the dog. But if I lived alone and then I needed to go to work, it means that the dog would sit like 6 hours by himself, and
Right, right.
I didn't want to do that. So yeah.
There is a like a small. I prefer cats because I feel like dogs need too much attention. I mean, I like dogs, but I think having a dog would require a lot of attention. And one thing that I always struggle in my mind is I'm thinking, if I ever have a cat or a dog, I feel kind of bad. Like I have to neuter them. Would I neuter them? Would I not? What would I do about it? Because on one hand, I feel kind of bad, making that decision for them.
Well,
And on the other hand, like I don't want to deal with the consequences of not doing it.
yeah, that's
So
pretty much it. When you
so
neuter the
so I
dog,
just
is
decide, yeah. And then I decide, so I'll just not have one then.
yeah. When you neuter any animal, basically you're deciding, well, no more offspring for you, and it can be a gamble, as Alex is saying. It's actually better to neuter dogs. It's also better to neuter cats because they become less territorial, and if they spend most of the time at home, that is a benefit. However, yeah, if you want to like breed and have like offsprings of your dogs, yeah, it's nice to not neuter them, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, like morally, I feel kind of bad making that decision.
Morally.
I don't know. I feel kind of bad. Like, why should I make that decision? Like, if I'm gonna make that decision, might as well just not have dogs and cats. Like, just leave them be.
Ah.
I mean, if obviously if I could, like, just have a huge garden and then they just walk around. But then, I mean, vaccines, I would vaccinate them. That's not a question.
Are you
I have no moral
anti-vaxxer?
issues.
This is on YouTube. Careful, careful. Be
Yeah, so
very
I have
careful
no
with your next statement.
no moral issues about that. They would definitely get vaxxed. But neutering, that's a bit, because vaccines is like you're putting something in and like your body will deal with it. But then neutering is like taking things out. I'm like, oh, is it fair of me to make that decision for you? I mean, I feel kind of bad. But I mean, if I did have one, I would. But because of that, it's one of the reasons I don't. Like another reason is, yeah, just I would probably have a cat. It's easier to manage. And then I feel bad, like if I don't have time to spend with the animal, like you were saying, if you were working, like I don't want the cat or the dog to be alone at home. They would probably need a friend, so probably two. Like I don't want to have one. You have you have two cats or just the one?
I got two boys.
Two boys, two chunky boys,
One chunky boy and one slim serpent.
Slim Shady.
That reminds me, going back to House of the Dragon. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this episode, by the way, for YouTube. I love the dragon designs. Like each dragon feels different, and I like the long, like serpenty one. We call him the noodle dragon, and I like the big badass dragon that looks ugly as sin.
Oh, right. Okay, good. Yeah, because the in the first one there were like three dragons and they were the same-ish, right?
Yeah,
in,
pretty
in
much.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh no, the dragon died. Who? Vexar, Viserion. Who? Which one is
To
that?
be
What's
fair-
going on?
To be fair, I think we talked about this maybe on the episode. That scene where the White Walker takes the dude and makes them his. I mean, that wasn't like, oh, definitely did not see that coming, but it like, oh, well, I definitely did not see that coming now. Like, oh my god, that's awesome. And yeah, I don't know. This dragon thing is weird. Like in the show, is it like just we're masters? Why do the dragons even submit themselves to this?
Because of magic.
Is it magic? What magic? That wasn't explained. Explain that to me. It wasn't even implied.
I do agree with you that seems a little bit out of fucking nowhere.
That's not even. I mean, I don't want to.
Dragons and Targaryen just have this bond. You wouldn't understand. You'd need to be a Targaryen. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess they're kind of put in a crib when they're born together. So like, but why would one obey the other? Why isn't it the other way? Like the dragon controls the human, and then the
Equal
dragon says,
rights. Equal rights.
And then the dragon goes Dracarys, and then the human just pukes all over the place, like after being
like
drunk or something.
a cat, like spitting out a furball. Dracarys.
Oh, it's a fur ball. It's a fur ball. Anyway, have been not paying attention to chat, but
I don't think chat has been.
Alex,
Warning news on Ukraine. They blew the Simeon Bridge.
Crimean Bridge, yeah, Crimean.
Well, good for the Ukrainians, I suppose. The Russians.
I don't know, man. Let that thing settle in, then we'll talk about it. I don't know. This is a mess, and I just hope it ends quicker than later.
For I mean,
yeah.
just for reference sake, Jay here is my co-host is part Ukrainian. I mean, are you full Ukrainian or what?
Well, blood-wise, I'm Ukrainian, I guess. I was born in Ukraine, but then grew up in Portugal.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself Ukrainian. I will tell you, last time I went to Ukraine, I felt more foreigner than anywhere else I've been. And I was in China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Malaysia, and I felt very foreign in Ukraine. I just didn't belong there at all. And yeah,
But
I
was
don't
it
feel Ukrainian?
But was it mostly because of like cultural reasons, or like you just didn't relate with the population anymore? It just seemed different to you.
Yeah, it's culture. I just didn't vibe. I don't know. I asked my father. He was saying, "Oh, it's because of it's former Soviet Union education or something, or maybe it's tension because I mean there wasn't full-on war, but there was tension with Russia for a long time. Like pretty much since the Soviet Union fell, there was tension with Russia. But when I went there, I mean, more recently it was the Maidan thing, and then they were still fighting in Donbas region. Like that fighting has been going on
For a while.
Like it's not a new thing. Yeah, it's not a new thing. It's been going on since 2014 or whatever. And it has been happening. This is not a new thing. This is just an escalation. Yeah, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't vibe with the people. I felt it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
The
You
way
just didn't
people
relate.
behaved. Yeah, I couldn't relate really. Yeah, with the mentality, the mind process. I mean, it was different and somewhat familiar, I guess. But it just, I didn't belong. It's not right or wrong. I just didn't belong. I just didn't feel. Like I remember, I came back to Portugal after being so I was in Ukraine for I think a month and a half, and the first week I was almost depressed because I felt like it was so just dark and people are not smiling. And then I got used to it and I didn't care. And then I came back to Portugal and I took a bus somewhere, and I just asked the bus driver like, "Hey, I need to get off at this station. Is it the next one or is it the one after that?" And the bus driver, before answering me, he started smiling. And I just felt so warm, and I was like, "Oh my God, people smile when they talk to you? What is this?"
Jeez, how long were you in Ukraine? You speak like if you were imprisoned there for 10 years.
No, they don't smile at all. It's the weirdest thing. Like I had a lady come over to us, and she was dead serious, like, "Oh, are you?" Because we were waiting for a bus, and like the bus drivers don't have specific clothing or stuff. And we were talking about the bus, me and my father, or my father and I. And she came to us like, dead serious faces, like almost scary, like, "Oh, are you the drivers? When are we gonna depart?" I go, "No, sorry, we're not the drivers." And she just left. "No, thank you." No, thank you.
I was wondering. I was wondering if she got pissed. That happens. I've seen that shit happen.
She just left. Same face, no emotion whatsoever, and it felt so cold. And I mean, obviously, not everyone is like that. And if you're in a familiar environment, if you're with friends, people are not like that.
Yeah.
But I felt like among strangers, people are very, very cold. Like it's extremely cold. Like I went to the shop and I just asked for some information. "Oh, I want fizzy water. Where can I get the fizzy water?" She's
Up
like,
your
"Dead
ass,
serious."
bitch.
And she's like, "Can't you see it? It's in that aisle." I'm like,
All right,
sorry.
Christ, go back to your goddamn Facebook page, bitch.
"Sorry, I'm sorry you have to work here, I guess. I don't know." But maybe that was just a sequence of bad experiences. Maybe that's not representative, Maybe just a month and a half is not enough. And one thing people told me, like, "Oh, you're here in winter. People are more gloomy in winter. You should be here in summer. People are happier." Maybe that's true. I haven't been there in the summer in a long time. But then when summer came, well, the war came. So I'm glad I wasn't there. Anyway.
And they weren't as happy.
Yeah. And Alex is saying, I understand, I'm also Spanish, but I'm not culturally Spanish, so I know how you feel. Yeah, like after you've been
This is shit.
out for a bit, you just kind of, yeah, you know, you are where you're raised, right? I mean, blood-wise, I guess. So you know, at some point in 20 years, I'm gonna get my own dragons, my own ships, and my horse riders, and I'm gonna march back to my country and retake it. I don't know, something like that. Another Game of Thrones reference. Never mind. just watch Seth paint.
Please don't. It's going.
It's like.
It's annoying me.
It's looking better now. It's in it because you know I never bothered to watch these videos because I get bored. But because I'm chatting with you, you know, I just glance at it from time to time, and actually it's pleasant. Like, oh, I see how this is developing. This is fun. It wasn't complete first. It isn't complete now, but I see it developing. And if I just watched you paint without chatting with you, I'm like, can I have some water?
No, you sit there and watch.
I think I left the water on the stove and I forgot to turn on the heat. Yeah.
No, well, it could be better, but like that's pretty much art. It could always be better.
Yeah, but it's cool because again, like.
What were we talking? We're shit talking Game of Thrones again before we start talking about Ukraine.
Yeah, we're always shitting on Game of Thrones. I don't know why. We need to shit on something else. Anything else you want to shit on?
I mean, if we go back to Rings of Power, that show, it offended me.
Can we shit on things that aren't shows? I don't know. Like, let's have controversial ideas. Isn't that good? Like, isn't that how people get famous? They have polarizing ideas, and then you just have one side of the population on their side, and the other hates them, and then everybody talks about you, and that's how you become famous.
Pretty much. I mean,
popular opinions.
Unpopular opinions. Did I just shit on Jeff Bezos earlier? I mean, that's my quota for today.
Is that unpopular? I think it's popular.
Shit, you're right.
Everybody hates Jeff Bezos.
David Bujejevic says, "Hey Mickey" on YouTube, but Mickey is nowhere. And then Sony is also. Everyone is showing up all of a sudden. Sony on YouTube, an art stream. I actually don't have a. I don't know. If you want to talk about something else, do you remember your topic that you were supposed to bring?
Nope.
You big slacker.
No, it's done. Wait, you said Sonny is online, as in Sonny Chaos?
Yeah, Sony. Martin. He's on
Wait,
YouTube.
why don't you? Oh, YouTube. Yeah, I was just like, how are you chatting to him? Because I don't see it. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I only have your Twitch on. Okay, fair enough. Okay, you'll take care of the tubes.
Mm-hmm. It's on the. Actually, it's on the live stream, but probably my controls. No, my controls are kind of blocking the chat.
No, I can. Well, yeah, I can see the chat, but it's delayed. So you know, I'm speaking with you real time, and then people are listening to us delayed. So I couldn't see the text.
I'm trying to still think of controversial opinions to have. Do I have any controversial opinion?
Yeah, but I just become bland vanilla. That is genuine. I don't want to just blurt something out that I don't.
Oh, dude, you know that every opinion I say is genuine, even if it is blurted out, and it often is.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like, if I blurt something out, it better be genuine. I don't want to like make stuff up. I don't want to be like, I don't know. I can't even think of something controversial. What? Joe Rogan is an amazing pasta chef. I don't know. I'm making shit up.
He is back on the news.
I don't know. He shows up. I don't even look at him. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know why he's so big and famous.
That is true. That is a good question. Why is Joe Rogan so? I think it's just because of longevity.
I mean, he's polarizing, and he was legit in fighting, I guess. But then he's just been around, and I think he isn't afraid to, say his mind. So.
It does seem
that's the polarization side of it.
I think not only do I think he says his mind, but he also apparently is kind of okay with this, like having controversial figures and discussing with them. Jay, talk about salary discrepancies in Portugal and abroad. I think you know a lot about that, and it's a controversial topic. Gotta respect Joe Rogan for that. Yeah, Rogan isn't that polarizing. It's more that the guests he brings on. It does feel like basically he brings on guests and gives them a platform to speak, and some people don't like that. Fix this
salary discrepancies. Well, I don't think I know a lot about that. I mean, I have friends who worked abroad longer than I have, and I mean, I have a friend now who he was I don't know, he was around, but he was somewhere in Europe. He was in Netherlands for a bit. He was in Sweden for a bit, and for reasons he wasn't working for a certain time because. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into detail because it's a friend, it's his life. But yeah, he wasn't working for a while, and he came back to Portugal, half necessity, half COVID, half all other things. And he decided, well, I might as well look for work in Portugal. Give it a go. Let's try. And he's an engineer, so he was designing airplane interiors, I believe, for a short time. It wasn't his dream job. He wanted to do stuff more in environment, and because his background is aerospace engineering, so a lot of aerodynamics and stuff like that. He wanted to do more in energy, like wind turbines and I don't know, water. I don't know what to call them. Turbines as well, I guess. Whatever. He wanted to do stuff in energy, and he came back to Portugal, and he got a job. And I spoke to him a few months after he had gotten that job. And, how is it going? How are you doing, man? I was like, dude, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving Portugal. I'm jumping ship as soon as I can.
I'm doing something similar, actually. But go on.
Yeah, for the work I do, I'm being so underpaid. I hate this. And I think also he had a reverse culture shock. He just doesn't feel right anymore. For my own experience, I mean, it's not that I made a lot of money out there. Especially based on local, salaries. I didn't make that much. I just made more, and I could pay my own apartment. That's the biggest thing. Like, you can live by yourself. And in Portugal, it's just impossible. It's just, just horrible. And Sony says the best strategy is to live in Portugal with a foreign salary.
True.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, Portugal isn't the only country you can do that in, right? As long as you're working remotely. A lot of people like tropical countries, and they do that. They do that in like Thailand or something like that. I don't know if that's the best because I don't really have that comparison. I mean, I do work in Portugal, or I work from Portugal to a foreign country, but I never was in a foreign country working for that country at the same job, let's say.
Yeah.
And apparently, yes, bifanas, francesinhas. Well, sure.
What are you talking about? Sonny's talking about all the benefits of Portugal.
Yeah, bacalhau Brás, beaches, the language.
I mean, Portugal is a very friendly country to live in. Like, you can say that, like, foreign countries usually feel very, very insular in their culture. Portugal feels like it's very accepting. You can go anywhere and speak your language, and there will be a motherfucker that can talk right back at you. And I'm actually kind of proud of that, of how versatile our Portuguese culture is. Like, we're proud of our history, most of it. Like, we have a rich backstory, but we're not obnoxious about it.
Oh no, we're not proud. I think Italians are proud. Like, you talk to an Italian about their
and
food.
French and
Oh yeah, about their cheese. Is Italian pasta and French cheese like Portuguese bacalhau?
I mean, I suppose, but to be honest, I like Portuguese cuisine a lot. So I always get annoyed when they regard as, oh, the French cuisine, ooh, the Italian cuisine, they are the best thing in the galaxy, and anyone else is just a mere peasant compared to the masterpieces of Italy and France. Now, Portuguese cuisine is goddamn good. You can say that it's very greasy and it's very meat heavy. Yeah, we don't have a lot of vegetable varieties in our dishes. But gosh darn, bacalhau com natas, francesinha, or pastries are miles better than theirs could ever be.
Yeah, but I think, the reason is, like, Portuguese people aren't obnoxious about how the food is supposed to be.
No.
Like, if you want to do things differently, that's fine. That's your choice. But, like, Italian, at least, I don't know. French, I'm not too familiar with how they deal with their food. But I think Italians are very, very proud of their food, and like, it has to be a certain way. Like, no, what is that, Seb? No, that tone of color is not right. It has to be this way because this is how it was made originally in Italy.
Yeah, because my ancestors always did these. Oh,
yes,
fuck off, Mario.
Yeah, so I think in Portugal, people, if you want to add I don't know, whatever it is you want to add to your bacalhau. That's your choice. Like
Yeah, it
it's
becomes your
fine.
family recipe.
Yeah, like that's not how we do it, but go ahead, enjoy it. Yeah. Alex says the French can be kind of pretentious about the way they cook. Well, I don't know. Probably. I wouldn't know, but I think yeah, Portuguese people aren't as much. Like, yeah, you wanna put cinnamon in your pasta? Go ahead. I've met people who do that, so you know.
Cinnamon in your
I
pasta. What sort of animals do you deal with? Jesus.
I don't even
There
know.
are
I don't even.
rules.
I haven't even tried it, but it's not very interesting to me. But you can. You can. Oh, I hope we don't have any Italian watchers. They're gonna have a heart attack.
I used to have
Like,
Italian watches, but I haven't had one for in a hot minute.
what you have been talking about pasta a lot, and they got offended.
I think so, probably. It's only a matter of
Unpopular
time.
opinion.
It's only a matter of time
Here
until
you
I
go.
shit talk. I love pasta, by the way.
Unpopular opinions. Here you go. Pasta with cinnamon is best.
Oh my
I've
god.
never tried it. I'm just trying
Oh
to,
my god.
to be controversial here.
That's too controversial. We obey the laws of men in this stream.
I saw a bunch of Italians absolutely attack a dude for the way he made mozzarella cheese, Alex says.
Oh, makes sense.
I don't even know how you make mozzarella cheese.
How to make it, I don't know, but yeah, the Italians, every single one. As soon as you're born in Italy, you get slapped with a cooking book, and you're not allowed to leave the house until you learn how to make a pasta primavera.
And you have to make it al dente. That's the most important part. I mean,
Yes.
to be fair, I am kind of adamant about the al dente part.
It is better.
Like,
Like they
yeah,
cook
I
well.
don't like overcooked pasta. I don't like overcooked pasta. It's just not good.
Yeah, just a sticky little wet noodle. And by the way, I love pasta. I do think the Italians they discovered the secret of it. It is an amazing cuisine. It's just their presumption about it. No, you don't know the true way of cooking pasta. You have to clap your hands twice and go around the chicken, and then you can put the cheese on top of your mother, and it'll make the pasta taste delicious. Dude, what the? Okay, if you say so. I learned it from the best.
I love this stuff. This is great. We're definitely gonna polarize our stream with this. Like you're offending a lot of Italians now with your accent. I'm sure of it. And people like I had a friend like what is it? A few days ago there was apparently a Mario movie trailer, and we
Oh.
came here to play board games, and the guy was literally sitting here. Oh guys, I have to take this. This is very important. I have to watch the trailer, and he literally just like disappeared mentally. Stuck to his phone watching the Mario trailer video. This is very important
Disappeared
for
mentally.
me, okay?
Give me a moment. I'll be right with you.
Yeah. He said like, I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. Just be right back. Anyway, Mario's Italian, right? Isn't he? He's Japanese Italian.
Yeah, he's Japanese Italian. That perfect mix. That perfect blend.
Butcher, what is it? Alex is saying like the Bifana's whole thing is that it's super simple. Also, don't call it authentic. Butcher the Bifana if you want. I don't care, but don't call it authentic. Bifana is just it's not a food, right? It's not a exclusively Portuguese thing, is it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I just happen to know for a fact that in Porto there is a restaurant that is known for its bifana. Also, I feel like there are certain dishes that is like emblematic with Portugal, like prego no prato. That is a steak with an egg on top. That's not a culinary masterpiece. You didn't need fucking Albert Einstein to discover that fantabulous mix. You got a little bit of a steak and you put an egg on top. Way to go. But apparently that's a Portuguese dish and it's unheard of anywhere else in the world. Like, what? They put the egg on top of the steak? Those barbarians, those heathens. All right.
Yeah, just people aren't very pretentious with food here, right? I think that's the main thing.
I suppose.
Yeah, so most people don't know what papo seco is. I mean, I don't know what papo seco is.
You animal, but you're barely Portuguese. Popsicle is a
I don't
bread.
Know, I don't know what papo is. What is papo? I don't know.
It's a
I don't
bread.
know why is it called. Why is it called? I know what it is. I mean, I don't know why is it called papo seco.
I don't know. I didn't fucking name it. I didn't go to school with the guy who named that shit. I'm not into his.
Okay, but I don't know what makes like a bun. How do you distinguish papo seco from a different kind of bun?
I don't know. It misbehaved in school. I don't fucking know.
Okay, Alex is teaching us. He's educating by telling us it's the driest, most H2O destroying bread. Most H2O destroying bread.
H2O.
So it destroys water?
Pretty much, it destroys
It'll
any
suck the
moisture.
out of your mouth. Ah, okay. Is it that dry? Because you always have it with butter usually, so it's not that dry.
It's
Is
basically.
that why it is?
I think it's mostly meant for toast. So.
And yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to read the YouTube chat with your thing, so you gotta.
Oh,
take
sorry. There you
care
go.
of that.
Let me just. There you go.
I'll wait for the delay. Okay.
You should be able to read it
Nice,
now.
Okay. Oh, you received 100 messages today with the Restream chat. You're famous. We're
Thank-
being controversial.
Nice! It finally worked.
Anyway, now I can't read it again. Okay, I was going to. You take care of the YouTubes.
Oh God, can I? I don't have it open. I can read.
Okay,
By the way,
Sev,
Jay is either ignoring me or can't read. I don't think he can read. There we go. I was about to drop him a friend. Drop him as a friend.
How do I? Wait, I don't know your YouTube thing.
How dare you!
I don't know your YouTube channel.
If you're on Twitch, all you need to do is scroll down.
Oh, I can do that? Okay,
Yeah.
wait, on Twitch, I scroll down.
And this
YouTube.
is-
Okay, let's see. I need to turn off the sound before I get confused.
This will
Okay,
do.
echo's gone. Okay, wait, is this working? Am I signed in as myself or someone else? I don't know. Anyway, I only have one screen. I'm a poor farmer. Okay, I don't have two screens, so this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, Jay just fled the war, so he doesn't have a chance to.
Yeah.
He didn't have a chance to bring his monitors with him.
Yeah, that's the fun fact. My real name's meaning apparently is farmer or earth worker. So there you go, earth worker Jim, earth worker Jay. Okay, I'm gonna try to catch up. What's happening here on the YouTubes? Oh wow, that's a lot of texting.
Yeah.
Italian food is amazing. No, not the Mario movie trailer. The voice, the butchered the voice. I'm so torn because it looks amazing, but Mario sounds like Chris Pratt. I know. This is not what anyone expected, I guess. Fun is PT.
Not
you
what
can
anyone
make meat
deserved.
sandwiches elsewhere. Sorry?
Not Chris Pratt is not what we deserved.
But anyway, I'm catching up to the chat from YouTube. Okay, you can make meat sandwiches elsewhere, but they won't be bifanas. We don't need to be pretentious about food because we are not insecure little man children. What about
I
woman
disagree.
children? What about woman children? Huh? What about them? Anyway, we know our food is superior. There is no need to rub it in others' faces all the time. Yeah, because if we did rub it in other people's faces, then we won't have enough for ourselves, right? By the way, Seth J. Oh yeah, okay, that's the thing. There we go. I was about to drop him as a friend. Well, fair enough. Jay, please meet Sev. Oh, you knew him. Strange that you know him and not know his YouTube channel. Are you a hermit? We are not insecure little person children. Sorry, I wasn't woke enough. Okay. Well, it's good that it's Saturday. You can be drowsy. It's okay. Okay, then my job to go back to Twitch now. I think I'm gonna log off at this point. This is just
YouTube is too. What, you don't like YouTube?
No, I don't like jumping back and forth between two windows and like not pay attention. I feel like it's like a chore. Let me see what's happening. Anyway, we're talking about popsicles. They suck the moisture out of your mouth. We're talking about popsicles with Alex on Twitch. There's two chats at the same time. This,
That's the more important one, of course.
Multi-channel chatting. What? I can't follow. Okay, Alex mentioned that there's the YouTube channel in the Twitch description.
Yeah.
Anda nas oliveiras e apanhas azeitonas. I don't know. There was some Portuguese reference. I don't know what he's talking about.
Alex does that sometimes.
Okay, there you go. Anyway. YouTube is superior, Sony says. Filter Twitch in your browser. Well, I mean, I think if you think of streaming, you think of Twitch first.
Yeah,
I guess YouTube is catching up.
That kind of reminds me of a video that Sony posted on Discord, which is really about that. The reason why Twitch is so successful over YouTube is mostly because it has the how was the term, like the first. It was market first or whatever. So each time you think about streaming, you thought about Twitch. Therefore, you went to Twitch.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that mental leap. Like you think of YouTube as videos, not streaming.
Exactly. It's like video on demand, right? YouTube is video on demand. It's stuff YouTube is where you post the videos after you have streamed on Twitch, right? That's pretty much.
Now I put them on YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's on both. But like Twitch has no way of having videos on demand, does it? I think it's temporary. Like videos are deleted after a while. They don't stay around. They don't stick around.
Yeah, exactly. Personally, Twitch is still better. Yeah, if you transition from Twitch to YouTube, it's great if you're already a big streamer. Like you bring your audience with you. But if you're a Joe Schmo Sev, you got nothing.
Sonia says YouTube is the way. Twitch is mismanaged from what I've read. It's a kingmaker system too, so not great for new streamers. It's great if you're already big. Discoverability is supposedly better on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah, Alex, that's what I think too. It's better for now, but it's not the future, I believe. Better. Wait, it's two. I get confused with two different chats. Alex was saying that he personally thinks Twitch is better, and he knew people that streamed on Facebook, and not just that Twitch is made for streaming. Easier to find people too. Maybe. Anyway, it has been like almost 2 hours.
All right.
Now
I really
like how Kim Jung Gi is looking. He's looking like a real person now. I do think I want to wrap things up because I'm getting hungry.
You do you.
Yeah, and yeah, that was good. So any final words you want to say before I go? Do we do the outro? What's happening? I'm gonna leave you guys.
Do everyone watching right now, do yourselves a service and go watch Kim Jong Un. The whole reason behind this podcast is because Kim Jong. Yes. Oh my God. Not Kim Jong Un. No. Not Kim Jong Un. Come back. No. Don't go. Don't go. Come back.
Now we're controversial.
Do yourself a service and go check out Kim Jong Gi. He was an amazing artist, amazing comic book artist. His talent was surreal. He made amazing art pieces effortlessly, without reference, out of the top of his mind, and he was much beloved because he just enjoyed drawing so much. He sadly, tragically, passed away at the age of 47 this week. I think he died like on Tuesday or whatever, while he was traveling from Paris to New York. And I think it's a huge loss to the world of art because he is genuinely one of the masters. This guy is one of the best artists out there. Sony is asking for specific works on YouTube. Because he's a comic book artist, he has mangas and stuff, but what he's really known is just for going to universities and they give him a wall and say, yes, just paint the wall, and he just goes mad. So honestly, just write Kim Jung Gi on YouTube and you will see like interviews, you'll see his artwork, you will see how actually warm and beloved he is and how cool he used to be, and just how amazingly talented he is. He is genuinely he was one of the masters. Like the previous stream, we're talking about how I actually said that Da Vinci painted the Sistine Chapel. Obviously, it wasn't Da Vinci; it was Michelangelo. I had to recheck afterwards, but Michelangelo was one of the great masters of the time. Kim Jong Gi was one of the masters of our time, and he died before anyone noticed it, and that's a huge shame, a huge loss.
Right. Oh, you know what? I think we said quite a few controversial things today in the previous episode, so it's good. We're gonna start polarizing the community. Mm-hmm. It's great. People are gonna talk about us soon enough. Jordan Peterson is gonna talk about us.
Nice.
Well, he's like, oh, these two young kids, they haven't discovered the responsibilities in their life. They're just having fun or whatever. Anyway, I don't know what.
Can't wait to piss off Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, great, right? Great guy, by the way. I mean, at least his speeches make sense. I don't know if he's a great
to be
guy.
honest,
maybe he's a dick.
he seems to get too up on his own paint. Like he huffs his own smoke too much, I do enjoy his speeches. I think he has some interesting analytical like reasonings behind his thoughts. However, yeah, the dude really he knows that people want to watch controversy, and he's not afraid to go on Twitter with like catchy headlines that are meant to provoke and to cause debate because they're basically being taken out of context.
That's what we'll do. So, Sistine Chapel, Da Vinci?
No, it's Michelangelo. It was Michelangelo.
Okay, guys, before I do leave, in about 10 minutes, we're gonna release one or more episodes on YouTube of actually last stream we did together. So it's kind of broken down in chunks. If you haven't watched it, Sev was nice enough to edit it, so it's neat and self-contained. It's gonna be on YouTube in a bit. Now, I'm gonna post it. Let's do this. I'm gonna post it here. And if I'm going to post it on YouTube, I should probably switch out to my other account so people don't know who I really am.
Oh, what a nefarious plan.
Yes, I don't want people to know who I am. Here you go, and now it's the same person who posted it on both things. So it's going to be in about 10 minutes. It's a chunk from, it's an episode that's a chunk from last stream. You know, if you haven't had enough of us yet. Also, I don't want to compete with myself. Like, you know, this way at least Sev is going to be competing with himself, not me. And I think we'll just wrap it up. Anyway, this was Artistry Podcast. Oh, wait, that's not how we go. How do we go, Sev? Anyway,
we never know. I'm Sev.
I am Jay.
I'm Sev.
No, let's try again. Okay,
all right.
Let's try again. Okay, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Jay.
I'm Sev.
Artistry Podcast.
Signing off.
All right.
Nail it. First try.
First take. Great, as always. Right, gang. Enjoy the rest of the painting. It's looking good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get some lunch because I'm hungry. All right.
Bye, Jay. I'm gonna stay here for a little while longer. I actually need my watch to know what time it is because I otherwise will be drawing and painting until the cows come home.
You stay controversial, eh? Make some noise.
As I have no one out to. Oh, I still have an hour left. Okay, I have an hour to paint still. Good.
Okay, I'm out.
Like, he didn't do Uzumaki, my bad. You have an hour till your usual logout time. Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna keep doing this for an hour. I'm enjoying myself. The way I painted this was and drew on this was kind of ass. The pressure of being on stream kind of got to me. I didn't think it would. Oh well, you live and learn. The proportions are a bit off, but such is life. There's no such thing as mistakes, only happy little accidents. And you were saying, it looks sick by the way, Seth. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna do one thing, just because the chat is really on the way of my menu, so it becomes hard to read. Let me see if I can just alter this a little bit for you guys. I think it is dual chat. Yeah, I'm gonna put the dual chat over here. Probably is for the best. There you go. On the gameplay it goes back to its place, but on here, there you go. Very nice. The face looks great, though he has some weird bulge in the back of his neck. Yeah, the dude had like most human skulls, fascinating stuff, are not perfectly spherical. They have weird shapes. If I can draw just really quickly over here. Drawing bald people is amazing because you always assume like the face is that, and then there's the little sheet of paper in front where the facial features go, and then you have this line here, which is the line of the ear. Usually the ear goes here, and it does this. So usually, then the nose protrudes out of here. It usually matches the bottom of the ear, and then you have upper lip, lower lip, chin, and so on. Over here you have the brow ridge, and you have the eyes. And over here you have the ear. And you usually think, because it has hair, you think that the skull is like perfectly round. But usually what happens is your head kind of has like this flat top, and then it kind of goes like, it has like bumps in the back before it connects to the neck. Well, it doesn't have this many bumps. Let me just remove this line. And basically your back of your head can sometimes have like a weird like protrusion like this before it goes into the neck. Or it can even have like a little bump here or whatever before it goes into the neck. Everyone has like weird heads, basically, if you shave everything off. And King Jung Gi also had a lumpy head. Dude was lumpy. I got that about the skull shape, but the bulge I'm referring to is in the neck, not in the skull. The fat shape over here. He has a fat neck. I guess I did make it too prominent. Let's see if we can fix this really quickly. I think it's this line. Yeah. So let's say that I'm probably made that a bit. The fat neck was a bit too fat, so let's do it like this. I think that's probably a little bit better. He says the chunky neck, but in that way it doesn't seem so prominent. There we go. Let's get you like so. Oh, one of these is there. That's the one. You can fuck off. That's slightly better. I'm even gonna take off the white line here. There. You like it? Looks way better in my opinion. The outline, I mean, yeah. Basically, he does have a little bit of. He has a little bit of the back of the neck fat. You know that sometimes you have these little rolls when you do. Oh, I have too much hair. I guess it won't show. Like when you do that, I don't know if you can see those little rolls, and you know, some people just have neck fat. You got this. Thank you very much. Now going back to the shirtsies, I want this color. So, have you started what? I'm gonna. Holy shit, Sev's nap. I'm gonna bust. Please do. I'm gonna do this very basic blocking of the light. There you go. That ought to be good enough. Let's try and make this. There you go. This is the one I want. Very nice. And we want it to be a little bit brighter on the neck area. Let's add it a little bit lighter. Oh, Clyde, it appears you've been by yourself in this call for more than 5 minutes. Okay, Discord. I like being by myself. Jesus. You need to scare the shit out of me that way. There we go. I think that's... No, that's not right actually, because his face would create shadow directly on this area. It actually would be pretty dark over here. No, it's not that dark, it's almost black. There you go. In fact, there you go. In fact, his neckline over here should also be pretty dark. Well, yeah, I'm gone. See ya, Sony. Yeah, Discord will do that if you're in a regular call. See ya, Sony. Thank you for stopping by. Now it's just basically going to be a regular art stream. There you go. There's some light reflection, but yeah, that'll do. So, Alex, now that we're talking about art and shit, how's your project going for your university? I want to try and keep up with the chat. This is practice. Feels like I'm going very slow. Pretty decent so far. But you're going very slow. Well, ain't it always the way? Are you doing... I suppose you're doing it by yourself. There you go. Also, these lines are a bit too strong for my liking. Let's lower this down to... There you go. I want to team, baby, because I'm still figuring shit out as I go. Okay, listen, Discord, you're pissing me the fuck off. Get out. I'm content with this. So, figuring... I'll put maybe like 20 to 30 hours into it, but it doesn't feel like a 20-30 hour job. Probably feels like it's a much bigger job than that. Are you still gonna like try and make it 3D? Are you gonna try and make basically a 3D short movie? Hello? What's going on here? Oh, shit. There you go. Yeah, full 3D. Full 3D. Oh, God. You will take a while. I've put maybe like 20 to 30 hours. I figured a way to ease up on the animation so compensate for me being bad. Make it dark! That's how artists do it. Each time you don't want to do something, just darken it up. I can show you how it works amazingly well in a bit. Where's my brushes? Where's my special? There it is. There we go, that's good enough. Basically, look at this hand part. And you notice basic, oh, I didn't even finish the finger. And you notice that this area between the fingers is kind of smudged dark just because there's a lot of detail I don't feel like doing, like where the fingers overlap. So it's easier just to put it black, baby. Look, it looks infinitely better already. Mamma mia. It's all gonna be handheld camera stuff. I figured a way to ease up. That does seem like a shit ton of work. There we go. Going back to the. That's good enough for me, to be honest. It will be quite dark. Darkness helps hide imperfections. Like right now, what I wanted to do is just do this. Because I did mess up his head, and it should be about that big. But, like, I just gave this guy a mohawk. Awesome. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just assume that his head is just naturally lumpy. Very good. Ah, I'm still missing something else. Let me see where the gosh darn... This is the one? This is the one. Give me that shit, son of a bitch. Time for some of that nice sweet rim light. Let's put the rim light low. I added a little bit too much. There you go. Back to 100. Currently I have a small spotlight parented to the camera, so it's like the camera has a little infrared light to it because it's going to be the shitty little camera. And ER means what? I don't know what ER means. It's not infrared, right? Or is it infrared? Some older cameras have. So older cams have. That way I can infrared. That way I can kind of make it people's eyes glow in the darkness and get some epic shots that way. Yeah. Sometimes I'd like to do is learn to draw some concept art for my monster. Let's see if I can do it for you right now. Monster concept art, let's go. It's always easy to exaggerate, so... Why is this? Oh, because it's pink. So basically, always want to make the monster a bit top heavy, and you want to make it like leaning forward, torso backwards, and have it have like this little hunchback, tiny little pelvis, and big gorilla ass arms. And tiny little legs that kind of just slouch and walk like a monkey. And its head, you can make its head like, usually make it something, that's him. He's a red circle. I was gonna base him on SCP-196, kind of big, tall, lanky humanoid. Oh, okay. I was gonna make like a gorilla-ass monster. Like, well, basically, usually when you want to freak someone out, just change the head shape to something that doesn't make any lick of sense, and then just abuse geometry. Let's make this guy Kermit the Frog looking motherfucker, like an ape nose, a strong brow, and a tiny little head. See? Doesn't he look terrifying already? God, you make it look so easy. Let's go for... You want tall and lanky boy? Let's go tall and lanky boy. So, tall and lanky. I mean, that's the Slenderman figure, right? Basically, very narrow torso. Long abdomen. Tiny pelvis. Gotta go for a shite. Be right back. His name is Glorp. Always helps to have arms unnaturally long. You can also have long legs, I suppose. Is it creepier to have longer shins or longer thighs? Let's give him long ass shins and tiny little thighs. And we'll have... Let's make him like a little bit hunched too. And give him a long ass alien mug. Dark eye sockets. One of them big ass fucking mouths. And just make him look like a gosh darn butler, I suppose. Let's make his arms weird. Like you don't know if these his crevices or like clothes or like weird muscle or something. Put him on a suit. I'm usually not a big fan of big slanky boys. I just feel like you're squishing them. Usually I kind of like asymmetrical monstrosities. Kind of hulking forward. Just walking on its knuckles. The very Resident Evil-esque monstrosity. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that. Make a little belly here. Have him tiny little pelvis. And his other tiny little arm. And I don't know, have its face like a inverted bean shape or something. Or it's just all jowls and mouth. And nothing but darkness for eyes. I don't know. Basically just a bunch of silhouette shapes. Meh. Do your own research. Usually what's terrifying is something more skeletal in nature. See, terrifying already. Nah, fuck it. I'm not doing anything important now. Going back to my drawing. Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-il. Kim Jung-gi. God fucking me. Why does everyone in South Korea called Kim Jong something? It's unreasonable. Let's start with a bit of the dark side. It's a bit too dark, I think. That's fine, fuck it. Just block this in willy-nilly. And over here, that's pretty much the underside of the arm. Let's get a bit of the bright side of the arm. And a place where the colors merge. Actually, up here it's a bit darker because it's the underside of the wrist. Then you have a bit more halftone over here. In fact, you have most of this area is halftone because it's a transition, the round shape of the muscle, followed by a little bit over here, which is the start of a bicep showing up. Down here, that's where it's darkest mostly. There you go. God damn it. And voila. That's good enough. I wanted to give it a little bit of a red touch here. It's as good as it gets. And might as well finish this off by saying that these two are like, can I connect them? No, I cannot. All right, fair, fine. Do your thing, you gosh darn program. You think you're so smart. Let's give it a little bit of a red halftone over here. There we go. Just make it a little bit redder. Not so red though. Let's put this in overlay and let's reduce the opacity just a little bit. I want a little bit more of that red to pop out. There you go. That's job number one done. Let's go now to, do we have much rim light? We do have a little bit of rim light. If we just go over here. Let's try and do this slightly better than we've been doing before. And that's about it. There's no more rim light as his arm moves away and in front of the body. Actually, you can have a little bit more over here. So let's put this all the way up. Let's say that he has a little bit of rim light also beneath the arm, all the way up to here, before it gets blocked by the rest of the body. Very good and very nice, all at the same time. Let's give this rim light a lightened color. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And I also want one last thing, which is to give like a little bit of a golden highlight. Nah, maybe not that golden highlight. It's a little bit more. Let's put this a little bit more grayish over here. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And last, but definitely not least, let's just give it a big ol' smudge. As I've been saying, if you want something to look good, just hide it, obscure it. And now you can use this as. Did I put it directly? Fuck me, I did put it directly. That's the one I wanted. That's the layer I wanted. What's this? Normal. Why is this an opacity? Oh, this is the gosh darn. It's the arm thing, right? Fuck, it is. All right, never mind. Never mind. You stay you. You do you, buddy. I want this. There you go. Fuck me, it's so much work. And all for me to just. I should name my layers better. There you go. Much better. Here we go, Key. You're doing God's work. Getting close to the finish line. I'm very tempted to just merge all this shit together, because the hand is going to be a pain on the buttocks. Yes, it is. So let's give him a white glove, because the reference has a white glove. Block all that shit up. Perfect. After that, let's give it a bit of a darker yellowish highlight. And let's do some fucking creases. There you go. Those creases are beautiful. I need more creases over here and there and every fucking where. And like so. Now let's go a little bit closer to that light and use a little hint of yellow. Well, what I want to do is, yeah, make a new layer apparently. Counter these creases to give them a little bit of highlight. Works well enough for me. Let's merge all this shit together. Thank you. And let's blend it a little bit where we need to blend it. It should be a little bit darker, to be honest, so. Let's give it a little bit. There we go. This should be the darkest because of the pen that he is holding. Should make a really strong silhouette going down his arm. Like so. I did not. The glasses are basically floating on his head. I should fix that. And over here is the underside of the thumb. Therefore, it is going to be slightly more obscured. And then we have a few highlights of where the light should hit. Good enough for me. Because I admit I'm getting a little bit tired. Been here for over 2 hours. There you go. I think it looks good enough. This is for you, King Kim. Let's give this to Sim. Ah, shit, my program crashed. Help! Give it the same dark gray over there. Make this just one long shape, black shape. Even the strokes, can be black. Let's make it even darker. There you go. And I'm just going to go quickly back to his face and hit the microphone. Let's pick up this darker tone. So have this light also appear over here. Oh shit, I did put this over the fucking glasses. Let's use it like more grayish tone. Be careful not to hit the fucking glasses. Like so. Oh, can I cancel this? Like so. And we're gonna add a little bit of light that's gonna be seen. I guess the outlines of my white lines are gonna seem like that anyway, so it's pointless to have that there. There. Let's now try and make this overlay. Now it will always look like a, yeah, it doesn't. Alright, fine, be normal. Let's try and smudge this in then. To make it blend better. And my program crashed again. Excuse me. Reset, let's go. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And the last thing I'm gonna bother doing. Now fingers have like a shit ton of variance. Why did I leave the most annoying to last? Because it's also so small. Let's give quite a lot of bright colors on top. Let's give it as well closer to almost white. Certain aspects. And then it goes jarringly to dark and also slightly redder directly beneath. Even darker than that in places. Even darker than that. So, now the mix between these two. Why do I feel like the colors aren't smudging? There they are. They are. Good. Very good. I will need to then focus more on the crease there. Oopsie daisy. You're not meant to be there, fella. There. Let's make this transition a little bit softer over here, and the bright light of where the thumb is most exposed to the light. And we can transition to a more halftone before we go to a darker. It's slightly hidden there. Also, again, I feel like I always forget to add the red here. A bit late now. I'll add it in the end. You can have reddish fingernails. You shouldn't be biting them. Well, it's where they have more nerves anyway. That's why we have more blood vessels. So that makes sense. All right, let's try and... This is so small that I'm adding a lot of detail to something that I don't particularly think will matter that much. Let's add this little bit of light there. Like so. And then it goes immediately to very, very dark. As for the rest, I'm just going to say, glove. It's all glove. It's all glove. It's dark glove. Make the glove darker. There. Don't think about the details. There we go. I also want this to be much darker so I can add some fine ass digital, as they say in French. This is also much darker here. And now we can try and smooth in some, not even smooth in, just block in a lot of sharp colors. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white there for the tip of the fingernail as well. I think it works pretty okay. I'm content. Too dark. And you know what? You know what? It'll just have to do. I'm done. I'm just going to do one last thing. Merge all this shit together. Why can I not merge it all together? Oh, because, alright, this is not shit. Okay, now merge everything together. Very good. Add a bit of gray. Let's merge everything together. Little monsters. Had to clean my room. I'm back. Sorry, had to clean my room. It's fine. While you were cleaning your room, I think I'm pretty much done with the illustration part. Also, I made you little monsters. I made tall, lanky boy and little one-armed freakazoid. These are for you, Alex. I call this the 7 Alex. This is me. This is you. You're buff. You have a very strong chicken arm. So, congrats. Take a good look at them. I was thinking of making them like asymmetric. I was also thinking like asymmetric is usually a good trait for monsters to have. It always immediately makes them weird. I think I'm done here. So, you know what? Let's do something else. I might have to work a little bit. Wasn't sure of how to do it. Well, basically just draw squiggles like I did. Like take 30 seconds to just make a random shape. Focus really on the silhouette of the monster and see what makes you feel better. Maybe to explain a little bit better what I'm talking about, the silhouette of a monster. Usually it helps if you have Photoshop because you can just pick like a big brush. Let's just, yeah, I know, I just didn't know what kind of symmetry to do. Let's say that you want, let's always start with basic shapes. Let's make the monster look forward at you. This is very symmetrical, but it always pays for it to be like incredibly long-legged, which is always very quite sinister, I think. Almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas long. And have its like a little gimpy arm. It's always nice to just do random and have its face like tilted to the side and kind of lumpy. I don't think that's a scary lump. A scarier lump is like when something is clearly like missing from the top. That just looks weird. I was thinking of a big spike arm, but it's not like the vibe. But it's not the vibe. It's not the vibes. A big spike arm. A big spike arm. What does that mean? I know. I just didn't know what kind of a symmetry to do. A big spike arm. So basically, it's an. Okay, I need to draw that. Is it like? Shoulder, torso, bicep, and then like the forearm ends in a spike, like so. Like, I will impale you, dude. A big buffy burly dude. Yeah, alright. I guess, I mean, spikes can be creepy if you just make them like animal-esque. Like a scorpion, like studying scorpions and animals of that sort, where their like little spikes are meant to be terrifying. They're meant to make animals afraid. So make this like part more bulgy, I suppose. It also would be kind of nice if there is a separation between the spike and the arm. So let's just say the spike kind of goes into the arm. It was like as if it was some sort of tooth that was protruding out of the arm. It's kind of gross. Something that just kind of something that's just kind of, you look at it's just kind of like something. What? Oh my god! You just had a stroke. Seemingly non-threatening, but then it goes into the attack mode and it reveals its scary body part. So you want it to give a fake sense of security. I guess what I'm drawing right now is a little bit too buff for a dude. Torso. It's a bit wide as well. So I guess this is a little bit too buffy. And you want him to be unsuspecting. Kind of cute even. Like Russian sleep experiment kind of vibes. Russian sleep experiment, let me think. So what was the Russian sleep experiment? That was kind of like a little frail little dude. It was kind of hunched, right? His body was all hunched over on himself. And he was like, I'm such a small and weak dude. I'm a little pathetic little nugget monster. But my head is like super big because I have huge eyes. And because I haven't slept in a million years. And he's like sitting on the edge of a table. Look at me, I'm so small and innocent. That sort of dude. I like this Gollum kind of thing. But then, what you don't expect from him is that his arm, so how can I even draw this? His like skinny little flail arm. Like you don't know if he has clothes on or not, or if it's just his skin folding on itself. I haven't slept since the Cold War. Are we still in the Cold War? Like his niggly like little elbow. It just kind of ends abruptly. Like you don't even see the hand. It just ends like in a little stump. An unsuspecting stump. Probably is kind of scarred or something. Very Wolverine of it. Let's give it a bit more shakes and turns. Yeah, let's make this shit a bit more, yeah, like a wrung towel. Like slowly drag. I had this shot in mind of the camera on the floor and you just kind of see the legs of one of the guys being dragged into the corner. Please, please, sir. Please. Those neck muscles really taut. This is like a little hunchback, a little critter motherfucker. And it's sitting. But if you piss it off, swing, Wolverine claw, you bitch. It's not about how much time I'm going to have to spend on post-production. Yep. That's why I often suggested you to not focus on 3D so much. But then again, you only learn by doing. I just like making like weird little noises while drawing this dude. It actually pays to have like a weird geometry to the face, like a no chin and big ass eyes. But you don't even see like the iris or anything because it's just covered, shrouded in darkness. You only see like the hint of something. I don't know how they usually portray the noses in horror. Like they have no nose or something. It's just basically a mouth. Very alien-esque. It usually has like a lot of these, a lot of, oh, I haven't slept. I'm so tired. Oh God. Oh, I've aged for 1,000 million years. And so on. I was kind of wondering how to make the eyes. And something that will challenge me. Yeah. Usually you have two schools of monsters on eyes. Either make like if this is like their face, make their eyes huge and usually like draw a lot of focus to the eyes, or if this is their face, make their eyes like non-existent and draw features like to the mouth, like grrr, and make the mouth huge, or the nose, and basically the eyes, imagine like the eyes of a mole or whatever, just make it disconcerting. Don't you like little AT motherfucker over here? Like, yeah. Like a little baby. I'm sitting on my little table. I was thinking of going with his idea. What? I was thinking of going with his deal if he imitates human noises to draw people in. But see, I'm already ahead of you. He's already imitating humans. What do humans say? Hello. Hello. Then he also says, friend? But it's kind of a question mark. Like, friend? Hello, friend? Wanna make out? I won't stab you. I will not stab you with my claws, with my Wolverine claws. Meh. Also, would probably kind of help if you make his torso really weird. Like if it's walking around all wonky funky. Have some more of them creature designs. Yep, Peeps is home. And so forth. Oh, only if you wanna. No, you're so pretty. Don't go down the scary hallway, Lil. Hey, Peeps. Mwah. I don't know what that is.
Maybe trousers.
Oh, well done. So yeah, cool monsters. Yeah. Basically, all you need to do to make scary monsters is whatever the fuck you want. Hey, Kim. You're gonna be transported through the ages. Let's get rid of that background. I just want your little beautiful face. Export as... Give me that lovely PNG, baby. Thank you. Export. So that's one. I'm gonna quickly need to do. Good job on Kin, by the way. Thank you. That was the least I could do to the guy. I think he's a great artist. Let's try and do something else now. Window capture. Let's change this to Illustrator. There you go. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now I gotta get rid of my drawing table. Give me a moment. I hope this doesn't fuck up everything. It does not seem like it did. Because now it's time for some vector arts. Sweet cheeks. Let's see if I can do like a nice little... love the oil painty look. Thank you. I spent a lot of time fidgeting with it because I fucked up hardcore in the beginning. But such is life. Now let's go to Illustrator. So what do I want to do in Illustrator? I want... I still have Choco Milk! Oh, don't you just love it when you forget that you have Choco Milk? Oh. Is your table a screen table or just a black table thing? 1 second. This is my drawing table. As a screen, I see what I'm drawing. It's pretty thin, it's pretty portable, and all I need to do is plug it to my USB thing. It's a good thing. As you can see, it's sufficiently big. It's a good piece of hardware. It wasn't that expensive, actually. XP Pen. Sponsored by... I'm not sponsored by XP Pen, but I would like to. I like their stuff. Just so you don't always have to buy the fucking Cintiqs or whatever. I used a similar one once. Yeah, I also have like the more traditional. Oh, the more traditional like drawing table without the monitor to use on the road, which is also pretty handy. You just need to get used to drawing on a traditional table. You just need to get used to drawing and drawing down and looking at the screen, like that dissonance. The one without the monitor. So let's bring in. Very good. Let's bring in our friend. Where is our friend? Where did I put him? I'll never know. Oh, because I say I have to look for. There he is. Because I unplugged one of the monitors. There you go. There he is. Beautiful little baby boy. Let's say, oopsie daisy. Let's not increase the size. What can we do here? Took me a sec to get used to it, but it was fairly straightforward from there. Yeah, it's usually that's the issue, right? When you start working on it, you need to like train your brain, because when you're drawing or when you're writing, you're looking at your hand. So you just need to train your brain instead of looking down to look forward. And as soon as you kind of like sink, you get, oh, okay, I get it. Oh my god, my cat's going crazy. So what are you going to do now exactly? Who knows, dude? I just want to say something like, RIP. Probably in a better font. Taz, can you hear my cat just bawling out of his mind? Something a little bit better. Probably not. God damn. Fuck it. For now, this will do. There's some sort of wordplay with this shit. I'll be right with you. And then... Jung Gi. Center this shit. Make it a little bit bigger. He's going ham. You could have done that in Photoshop. It's easier to do it in Illustrator though. To me, at least. Okay, but it's one too many there. Let's go a little bit wider. Let's get to 600. I want one of them elegant spacing. Yes, perfect. Let's give it a little bit more. Jung Gi. Like so. Oh, it makes it. Oh, make it so he's painting the rip. That is a bit dark, though. Jung Gi. When was this guy born? I mean, he died 47, so we gotta quickly search. Jung Gi. He was born in 75, 1975, 2022. Let's put this now a little bit closer together.
Johnny,
Yes, Peeps?
I found 10 cents on the floor.
Peeps found 10 cents on the floor. Looks like we're gonna eat rich tonight, baby.
Lucky day.
Hang on, this font will just have to do nicely. You doing this for work, or is this just for you paying respects? I'm just paying respects. Why not? That's not a bad look, to be honest. Let's give this a little bit of a better frame. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect my respects. I agree. No music, nothing. A somber moment. I do enjoy the fact. Let's put, no, you go a bit like so. Let's put this a little, I just keep hitting the fucking glass. I'm not a big fan at how jarring this transition is. Not a fan of the mixing on the drawing. True. It was almost good, but it's too much, right? Let's try doing the following. Just shooting the shit, I suppose. Make him draw a heart or something, just so he's not painting air. But that involves me going back to Photoshop. I'll never do that. It almost looks like it's saying RTP. I actually don't mind him pitting midair. I don't know what to do with the rip though. Or it might even not even, it's not even worth pointing it. Just Jung Gi. The rip almost sounds like internet memery. Rip in pieces, bro. Alright, let's just do that. So let's do something a little bit more somber. The dude's dead. You don't need to say rip. Photoshop, the Illustrator always does that. You can see this little, you see this little line here? It's so annoying, but it's not, oh, actually it is there. No, it's not. If you zoom in, it's not there. It's so annoying. I always overcompensate by doing fine. A little fade. I want that to be so. Yeah, I want some of the color to bleed in. Jung Gi. Well, this doesn't feel like it's very well centered, so I'm going to visually. That's so fucking weird. I hate it. Ah, it's so annoying. Let's make it a little bit now more. The old tried and true formula of putting a geometry piece behind the subject matter. It's actually kind of annoying me, to be honest. Those degradés are out of style. I think that is much better now. You know what? You should do more of these. I enjoy it. Just some slight art streams. I wouldn't mind it. It wasn't a success, but you know what? With more streams like these comes practice. There you go. A little homage to Kim. No, the last thing I'm gonna do. We also got to know how the pros do it. Gosh darn right. I only want to do one last thing. Paper texture. It always looks nice. Give me the freest looking paper texture you got, baby, on Google. Oh, look at this shit. It's so low res, I love it. Let's go. That's all I needed. How big is the paper texture? Oh, it's perfect. It's exactly the right size. Send it to the back, baby. And you get that. And let's put this very subtly, because just having the paper texture right there is kind of obnoxious. Alright, Jesus, alright, put it normal then. Let's give it 20%. 30%. 40%. Just a little bit of a hint. There you go. Now we can work with the others. Color dodge overlay. Oh my god, it really just removes all the features from it. Let's just keep it to multiply, I suppose. Make it like 40. There you go. Yeah, I'm also going to do something else. The gray tone behind it will have... I know I just said earlier that I hate gradient, and usually I do. But I'm going to do... Why can I put gradient on this? Is it because it is on... Yeah, it was. It was on the line. It was on the line instead of the fill. There you go. Now with the gradient on, let's put this at grayish. Opacity 100%. And let's put the other one at a slightly darker grayish. Just a little hint of a gradient. Just a little hint. Damn it. So, this one is very light gray, and this one is slightly darker gray. So if I remove the paper, yeah, you can barely tell that there's a gradient going on. That's exactly how I want it. The paper goes on top. Well done. Let's give it a bit more transparency, down to 30%, just because there are some creases that I just don't like to be so noticeable. And we have King Jung Gi. Oopsie daisy. Give it a, there you go. No, this looks like a season. Never mind. Let's just do this. Nah. I'm still not quite happy. I'm going to fidget around a little bit with this. Let's give it a... There you go. I'm done. I'm sure they'd... You know, I'm kind of imagining his family saying this. I'm sure they'd love it. They'd be insulted by it. You dare depict King in such a blatant, weak manner? You didn't even draw him in a fisheye bowl perspective. Listen, dude, I'm just trying to do my best here. Fuck you, Selflicious, and then you just slapped a pencil from my hand. Where's your mangas? How many mangas did you make? None. You're right, you embarrass us. Now go out to the wasteland and think about what you've done. Just a little detail. Meh. Oh god, sometimes Illustrator is a little bit annoying with its layers. Meh. Didn't see much in his Wikipedia. Did he actually make manga? Yeah, he did. Draw him fucking wrestling a shark. Now leave the full line, man. The gap ain't it. Are you kidding me? No, the gap is perfect. Fine. The full line looks weird. I don't like the... I would rather not have a line on top then. This doesn't feel like it's well centered. I see what the problem is. I have to visually do it myself. There you go. I have to convert this into goddamn vector. There you go. Now it looks centered. Jung Gi. Rest in peace. Maybe with a gradient the gap would look better. That's starting to be a little bit too nitpicky. I was gonna do. Oh, I can just. I've seen a lot of people do this. I'm gonna try and do it. I mean, I do have the. Gosh darn. All right, so back to the drawing table, literally. There's my string connecting the drawing table. I want to do something. Don't know how it's gonna look. Just bear with me. Oh, it's 2 p.m. Shut up, alarm. Be quiet, you. Okay. My screens, they're adjusting. Give me a moment. My computer's going wild. Perfect. No, what are you doing, you weirdo? That'll do. Oh, that is cute though. You got work today? I do have work today, but I think I will keep these. I'll keep these black. And just this, the yellow is a bit too much. Maybe an orange. Nah, we're gonna keep it between orange and yellow. Give it that. There you go. Jung Gi. I don't know, man. Personal preference, the crown ain't it. To me, it is. It gives it a little bit of a flair. Wait, did he die now? King Jung Gi has been dead. Yeah, he died this week. This artist, he died a couple of days ago. He died of a heart attack, and he was one of the bests. So basically, I just did a little a memorial piece for him. This one's for you, Kim. And I'm gonna be leaving the stream now. I'm gonna leave this image up for a little bit, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed it.
Wow.